Boom, 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 chickadee chanka. How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little transfer update for you. Evening edition for Manchester United Daily News. Let's see what's going on tonight then, lads and lasses. There's a whole bunch of news to get into. Shout out to you all for stopping by and getting involved. Who have we got in here? We've got Amici Kelvin, we've got Ross Green, Jonathan Gallagher, Footy Talk. What's going on with you, bro? Mark Voot, Becky Hope, how are you doing, Becky? Pavel Brick, Andre Johansson, Amici Kelvin, Footy Talk, Ellie, hey Ellie, Jim Joe Bobley, Andrew Peters, Ruthless Sausage Disco, Dave, Bob the Chimp 1234, Patrick Naranjan, Paul Vanderbeek, Leonardo Di Stefano, Mark Diaz, Clam J, Ross Green, Kazra, Becky Oak, Football with Brownie, Daniel Rodriguez, Alex, Vincent Bullock, Jordan Wright, Daniel Rodriguez again, and John. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight for the show tonight. Let's get bang on it then, folks. Let's get bang on with the main story then. Andreas Pereira is on his way to Lazio. He's on his way to Lazio. By the way, did anybody used to think when they were watching Go Lazio as a kid, when you were watching that TV show called Go Lazio and the commentator went, Go Lazio, you thought he was saying Go Lazio instead of Go Lacho? Does anybody else, that just me? Just me then, okay. I was a little kid. Anyway, look, thank you very much for that, by the way. Andre Johannesson's just subscribed. Good man, Andre. Thank you for subscribing. Look, Andreas Pereira from Manchester United to Lazio. Here we go. Total agreement reached on a loan with a buy option. 27 million euros reported from Fabrizio Romano at 10:23 p.m. 15 minutes ago. Andreas Pereira from Manchester United to Lazio. Here we go. Total agreement reached on loan with a buy option. Jim Joe Bobby says, yes. Ruthless Sausage says, I did. Thank you very much. Football Bunny says, I loved that show. So did I, mate. I grew up on that. Was it on Saturday mornings? I can't even remember now. But anyway, it was an absolute classic. Seb, what's going on, bro? Dennis Johnson, hello to you. Finally, says Seb. Absolutely, Andreas Pereira. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you're buzzing that Andreas Pereira may finally be getting off the books at Manchester United. Think about it. He's been gashed for too long. He's on a lot of money for somebody so bloody damn gash-tastically gash as well. So pretty interesting in terms of Andreas Pereira because he's going. He's going on loan to Lazio. He probably will do good there. We've talked about this because they're in the Champions League. He's going to get game time. He will play. It's good for his career. Who knows, even if they don't have that option to buy, maybe it'll do him some good and he might come back a better player, having had that game time and learning that football culture out there in Serie A. We shall see. Hopefully, though, he does go on a permanent move there because I just don't think he's ever going to be up to United quality. 27 million euro deal, though, to make it permanent. That's what Fabrizio Romano's reporting. Sounds pretty gash-tastic to me. I can't imagine Lazio fulfilling that next summer, but that's just me personally. I just don't think he's worth 27 million. How much do you reckon Andreas Pereira's worth, folks? Get your valuations in the live chat. Let me know what you think. Kazra, hi from Canada, mate. Great to see you tuning in from Canada, mate. Good to have you in here. Clam J says Andreas the Melter. Mark Diaz says 15 million. Clam J says 50p. Paul Vanderbeek says 10 million. Einar Abstein says 20 million. Andre Johannesson says 20 million max. 20 million at most, says Seb. 12 million, says Leonardo Di Stefano. Tom Nash says, hey, Mr. Big Man, how you doing? I personally think 10 to 12 million for Andreas Pereira. That's my own personal valuation of him. I don't see how you could get much more money than that. Maybe 15 million euros, but he's not that much of a good player, is he really? Hey, guys, if you're tuning in right now, please do us a massive favour and smash that like button on the video. Leave it a cheeky little thumbs up on the vid. That will help us out loads. If you could give it a share on social media as well, that would be absolutely excellent, dude. I watched Bill and Ted, the new Bill and Ted last night, by the way. Yeah, it was kind of okay, but it was kind of disappointing at the same time, but it was kind of okay. Anyway, I won't ruin it for you, but thank you very much for you all for stopping by. Hit the like, get involved. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on anything we're discussing in this video. So then, if you're just getting in here, it's being reported Andreas Pereira from Manchester United to Lazio is done. There's medical pendings on this to be completed this week. So Fabrizio's just talked about it. And we, of course, a couple of days ago, they opened up talks and that's got done pretty rapidly. So there must be an agreement in terms of how much wages they're paying. I wonder if United are indeed paying a large percentage of Lazio's contribution to Andreas Pereira's wages, because he is on 70 grand a week and he's a bit of a gash-tastic player. So I don't know if they're paying him 70 grand a week. There were some reports earlier earlier to say that maybe they'd be looking at around paying half. I don't think United would go for that, though, so I imagine we might be contributing a little bit to his wages, but overall, Lazio probably paying the majority of them. So there's some good news, folks. Andreas Pereira on his way. Ryan Burspin9, thank you very much for the super chat here, buddy. He says, love to the Bacon Brigade. Also, fab tweet on Smalling. Absolutely, I can see that as well, my friend. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to the Guru as well for letting me know. And thank you, Ryan Burspin9, you top lad. So Andreas Pereira to Lazio looks pretty much done. He just needs a medical and he will be a Lazio player. Come on, get in there. The start of the bloody Deadwood. Drifting off out of Old Trafford for a change. It's nice to see. Get this Deadwood out of the gaff because I've had a bloody enough of it. Andreas Pereira is the start of what will hopefully be a torrent of shite leaving this football club. That's what we hope anyway, folks. Yeah, okay, let's talk about that. Thank you, Ryan. Fabrizio Romano, AS Roma. He's just tweeted now as well, 4 minutes ago. This is some good breaking news time, isn't it? This is good time for breaking news, folks. We're at the cutting edge of modern technology here. We got the breaking news quicker than those Sky Sports mugs, folks. Fabrizio Romano 4 minutes ago has tweeted, AS Roma are preparing a new bid to sign Chris Smalling from Manchester United on a permanent deal. Talks reopened with Manchester United. Smalling is pushing to leave and come back to Roma. Wow, so very interesting news there. We knew that there was always that interest from Roma in this window. There was some sort of haggling over the price. They had an offer knocked back early in the window from Manchester United, which wasn't up to our standard. They're obviously, it's understood about 18 million euros is what it would take to get the deal done. So that may be the case. There was also some interest from Inter Milan being pushed in the media as well. The fact that Conte was interested in him, and that if Inter did get rid of Skriniar, then they'd be looking to come to get Chris Smalling from United. So maybe Roma are looking to act now rather than leave it any longer and try and get the Chris Smalling deal done. So this could be the start of the torrent of shite leaving Manchester United in terms of the Deadwood out. AS Roma preparing that new bid for Chris Smalling. I wonder if he does have a small dong. Probably not, because, he's like 6'3", he's pretty built. I don't know. But he also, who knows, it would be very appropriate if he did indeed have a small dong to go along with his name. But we don't want to speculate about the size of people's dongs. Let's just keep it professional here. Talks reopened anyway with Manchester United, so Smalling's pushing to leave and come back to Roma. I definitely think the cojones are raisin-sized. Raisin-sized cojones. No, that's a bit harsh. He's actually been a good player at times in his career, though. Over 100 of you legends tuning in now. Thanks for getting in here this evening. Smash that like button if you haven't smashed the like already. Yes, that's right, Ellie. Good shout. She says, can people stop being rude to each other, please? Absolutely, Ellie. If anybody's repetitively rude, you know what to do. Time them out, love. Send them to see Mesh. Do it. Just be nice to each other, peeps. It's just pretty simple. Anyway, look, AS Roma preparing a new bid to sign Chris Smalling from United on a permanent deal. Talks reopen with MUFC. Smalling is pushing to leave and come back to Roma. How do you guys feel about that one? I know a lot of you out there think that maybe we should have actually got Chris Smalling in to be our partner alongside Harry Maguire. So how do you guys feel about Chris Smalling going to Roma? I personally think it's bloody great. Come on, my son! Get in there! See you later on, Deadwood FC. Send them over to the glue factory that is Syria and let them see out their days in the old yard there. That's the best thing for these players. The Ashley Youngs, the Lukakus, the Alexis Sanchez's of this world. Shame we can't get them to convince them to bloody come and get Phil Jones too. But that is the ultimate. Get these players gone, get them out, get the Deadwood out of Manchester United, make way for new players, get them off of our wage bills. Andreas Pereira, see you later on, son. Good luck to you. Definitely, if this is the case, Chris Smalling, he's been a good player for United a couple of seasons, but not up to the United standard. See you later on, bud. You know what I mean? Nice one. Also, crikey, we've got some more breaking news here, folks. We have some more breaking news. Oh, interesting. Let's have a look at this then. So, we have an offer from Milan. We have an offer from Milan for Diogo Dalot, it seems like. Going in for Diogo Dalot. That's quite interesting. This is in full-on Italian. Can I translate this page? I don't know, but Sky Sports Calcio in Italy are reporting that Milan have put a bid in for Diogo Dalot, which is quite interesting. That's what they're reporting here. I think that's what they're reporting because it's in full-blown Italiano. But it looks like that's what they're reporting, guys. Anyway, that's very interesting. Thank you very much, Matt Rush, for giving me that information. So have your vote on Chris Smalling, by the way. Have your vote on Chris Smalling. Would you want to see Chris Smalling stay or not? Stick a Y in the live chat for yes, you want to keep him. Stick an N in the live chat for no, you do not want to keep him. Yeah, the United Way says, which Milan? That's a very good point. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's AC Milan. Yeah, I mean, it says Calcio Mercato Milan. Prima offerta per Diogo Dallo del Manchester United. Rossoneri, yeah, that'll be AC Milan then, won't it? Rossoneri, Vogliono, Punterali. This is for all the Italiano fans out there. La difesa. Sugli esterni, il nome più caldi è quello del Portoghese. Ma la United Esposito des Chitala saltano a titolo definitivo. Mentire prima offerta la quella di un prestito con diritto de fiscetto. Fofana è il preferito tra i centrali, ma serve la concessione di Paqueta. Yeah, so just there you go for everybody who wanted to know who's Italian watching. That's the story. It's AC Milan, yes. AC Milan, you're right, yes. AC Milan. AC Milan in for Diogo Dallo. Get in there, my son. If that's true, that's fantastic news because I think he's another Deadwood player. Come on, this could be a good few days for United. This could be a sick few days. Few players in, a few players out. This could be a sick few days for United. Andreas Pereira could be the first of many here. The floodgates have opened and these crap players are going to be flooding out of United's team hopefully in the next few days. Chris Smalling to Roma, that sounds good to me. Get him off of the books as well, generate a bit of cash, save a bit on player wages. Great stuff. Start the changing of the old guard, if you know what I mean. Get the old guard out, get the old Deadwood out, get the new ones in. That's what we want to be seeing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doing right now. And this could be the start of that. You've got Andreas going away, you've got Smalling going to Roma, potentially now Diogo Dallo going to Inter. And another bit of information which I wanted to report about as well tonight is that FC Porto, a team that we're currently dealing with for Alex Telles, are also understood to be very interested in Diogo Dallo. Let's remember that he is a Portuguese player, so it does kind of make sense for them to be interested in Diogo Dallo. He's somebody that they could afford. He might make sense to add to their ranks. You could be looking at Porto maybe challenging Milano for a cheeky little bit of Diogo Dallo action. So interesting bit of news there. He is only 20. He is a good player. He's just not really impressed me that much. Batman Nightfan says we should get 20 million for Dallo. Absolutely, we should be getting at least 20 million for Dallo, really. I think we paid 20 million for him. Ryan says it's all hotting up for within a week to go. Spot on, it is getting a little bit tasty now. Things are starting to happen. We're starting to see movement from United. We've got some Alex Telles stuff to talk about in a minute too. But we're starting to see movement with getting the Deadwood out of this football club, which is just as important in my opinion about getting a really good fantastic environment for all these players to play in where it's a full-on team. And at the moment, unfortunately, you've got hangers-on like Phil Jones, who are getting paid so much money to do nothing, and that's not good for the team spirit, the vibe, and everything in there. You don't want any passengers, any hangers-on, any melters who are just standing by and doing not very much and not really earning their money. It's not a good look for the rest of the team, which are trying to do that. So we could definitely do with getting rid of a couple more players, but this is a good start. Andreas Pereira out the door would be great. Also, Diogo Dallo out the door would be fantastic as well if there was some potential to maybe get him gone on the in this summer window. Perhaps on loan is another prospect that we've talked about here. There could be interest from some clubs taking him on loan with an option to buy in the future, similar to what's going on with Andreas Pereira. And that actually might not be the worst idea for Diogo Dallo because he's a good young player. He's still only 20. He could get really good in the future. So maybe just getting some game time somewhere might give him that ability to kick on, get that experience, and maybe come back and challenge next season. Right now, he's just got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's ahead of him. And in my opinion, if we sign Telles, then Brandon Williams ahead of him too at right back. So Dallo's not going to get much game time, many opportunities at all. And if we sign a right winger, he's never going to play there. So Dallo, definitely right decision, him leaving the football club. We've been reporting pretty much throughout the summer when we understood, obviously from certain sources, that he was talking to Ollie. He made it aware that he wasn't interested in, or he wasn't happy with the lack of starts that he had in the last season, so he's looking to move on. Dallo is looking to move on, folks. He'll be going somewhere. How do you guys feel about that one? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you would keep Dallo this season. Stefan says Phil Jones is a staple of Flying Pig United. What are you saying? All the channel members, get your Phil Jones emoji in the live chat right now. The international face of Gurn. Get your Phil Jones emoji in there. So that is some really interesting breaking news we've got on the show tonight. Chris Smalling, Roma have reignited their interest in Chris Smalling. Diogo Dallo potentially to Milan. And also, let's just have a look at this. Here we go. So Fabrizio Romano's tweeted 3 minutes ago as well at 10:47 p.m. simply saying AC Milan have asked for Diogo Dalot on loan with buy option. Manchester United want to sell him on a permanent deal. No agreement reached at the moment. So there's a couple of options for Dalot here. He could go on loan to AC Milan. I think that would be a great move actually for the season, just to go on loan. An option to buy, that might make sense, but even if it's just on loan, to go and get the game time and get some games at AC Milan would be brilliant for the lad individually to come back next season to United. Plus, if Porto were interested in a permanent move, you could see that as well. If United are only interested in a permanent move, this is what Fabrizio Romano is tweeted just now, that Manchester United want to sell him on a permanent deal. No agreement reached at the moment, so it's clear that United are not really looking to do the loan deal, but maybe if there's another loan deal option with a future fee and a permanent deal to be had maybe down the line, and they give us enough up front to sweeten it and make it sensible, then that might happen too. But certainly Porto are also interested in him signing him permanently. That's what we're understanding at this moment in time, guys. So Diogo Dalot, what do you think? Is he good enough for United? Should we keep him? Smash a one on the live chat if you think we should. Tom Nash says swap Dalot. There you go. I mean, it's not going to be a part of a swap deal. This is what we understand. Let me just get the report up here. So in regards to Diogo Dalot at Porto, it's understood that obviously we have had some negotiations with Alex Telles, and Rui Pedro Braz mentions the possibility of Porto getting Dalot in a deal, but I don't think it will be a swap deal. I think it'll just be two separate deals. Basically a swap deal, but really we'll buy their player and they'll buy our player. So it's effectively a swap deal, but it's not. I think that's what's going to happen, guys. Possibly. We'll see. I mean, if Milan have come in with an offer, maybe Dalot would really like to go and play for Milan. It's a great club. He can go and do a lot of good stuff there, I'm sure. So we'll have to see what happens over the next couple of days, but it looks like it's all kicking off, guys. It's all kicking off, lads and lasses. It's just happening at the right time. We need to get some of this deadwood out this football club immediately. This is the start of it. This is definitely the start of it. Shout out to Irish Virus, who's just subscribed. Nice one, matey. If you're getting in here and you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Get involved with what we're doing on this show. We'll give you all the latest Manchester United updates. We do an evening show every night, usually around about 9:30, but a little bit later tonight, and also in the afternoon about 2:33 p.m. So keep a lookout, subscribe to the show if you're new to the show, and get involved with this fantastic community of legends. And smash that like button on it, lads and lasses. Leave it a cheeky little thumbs up. That will help us get up there in the search and help us compete with some of the bigger clickbaity, melty channels. You know the ones. So if you like what we're doing here and you want to help us out, smash the like on it, give it a share, and get involved in the Interazione menu. Okay. So yeah, Porto could be maybe getting in there for Dalot as well. We'll see about that one. I'll keep you up to date with what's going on. Dalot also potentially loan option for AC Milan. Very, very interesting stuff, guys. Very, very interesting stuff. It's all kicking off. Fabrizio coming out with the goods tonight, guys. Right then, let's get into the next bit of news then, which is very interesting as well, which is in regards to Ismaila Sarr. Manchester United inquire about Watford forward Ismaila Sarr, who would cost around 40 million. This is being reported everywhere that United have made an official inquiry here. Well, not an official inquiry, but we've inquired about him. It's widely reported that we've inquired as to how much it would cost and if he's available and that sort of thing. So we are maybe looking at lining up a backup here for Jadon Sancho. In my opinion, in a window that United are really trying to close the gap with scousers and scummers like that, what you need to do is spend money. What you need to do is try and really strengthen. So in my opinion, you could call me an idiot for saying this, but I'd get Sarr and Sancho. And I know that's a heck of a lot of money and investment, and they won't do it, but that's what I would do if it was on Football Manager or whatever. I would definitely get Sarr as a backup option. He can play right wing, left wing. He can even play up top, really, so Rashford and James, I'd probably loan James out and play Sarr there and probably give James some game time somewhere else, because I just don't think he's really up to the standard right now. And if you look at Sarr's statistics last season, he did actually get 6 goals and 6 assists in the Prem in like 28 games or something for Watford, and that's for Watford, who got relegated. So in a good team, he would do a lot better. I think his stats are actually pretty misleading. I think he's actually pretty good for the amount of money and the age that he is. United Till I Die's just subscribed. Mick Whelan's just subscribed. Thank you, lads, for getting in here and subscribing to the channel. Nice one. Yeah, so he seems like a really good young player. He's only 22, remember. He's played for Senegal like 25 times. He's obviously a really good player, folks. Like, that's what I don't really get about people being so critical of him. Look, I saw him play a few times last season. I thought he was good. I'm pretty sure he scored against us one game, didn't he? He was very good for Watford. They weren't good over the course of the season, and they got sacked off and relegated. But I don't think that's down to him. He had a decent sort of a season for somebody that was just coming into the Prem cold for the first time. He's athletic, he's quick, he can dribble, he can beat people. He's a good winger. He can play left wing, right wing. I really rate him. I think he's a good forward to have. Now, is he an alternative to Jadon Sancho? He's not really an alternative to Jadon Sancho. He's not Jadon Sancho. He's never going to be Jadon Sancho. If you look statistically, Jadon Sancho's just some sort of a phenom. He's unbelievable, really. And I know he's only doing it in the Bundes, which you can argue is slightly easier to do than the Premier League, I think. But even so, his stats are absolutely out of this world. Whereas Ismaila Sarr, he's not that mercurial talent like Jadon Sancho. He's not really that generational talent. Maybe he could progress and develop into an absolutely awesome player. At 22 years of age, Watford signed him for 40 mil. He's definitely got a big future, but he's not Jadon Sancho natural quality like Jadon Sancho ability, 2 years younger, putting up the stats that he is. So obviously Jadon Sancho's your main man, but you could get this guy as well. And if the Sancho deal is not possible to complete, if Man United go back their final day of the window and Dortmund just say, yes, do one, and they don't want us to do the deal and they don't accept whatever shit offer Edward Woodward puts down on the table, then, there's a good chance that maybe we will go hunting around for somebody like Ismaila Sarr right at the end of the window. So don't rule it out, folks. I think I'd rather have him than not. I'd rather have him than a couple of the other players that we're linked to, such as Douglas Costa or even Perisic right now. At least he fits in with what we're trying to do. A good young player who's getting better and could have a really bright future in the game and gives us a lot of options. So what do you think, lads and lasses? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you would have Ismaila Sarr at Manchester United in this particular transfer window. Smash a 1 in the live chat. Hey, Jeanette Pugh, I'm good. Thank you very much, Mr. Pugh, for getting in here. Jamie Jones says, Mr. Miyagi, did you miss the bit where they said if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything? Yeah, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. That's a good attitude to have on this show. Football with Brownie says, Partey has a buyout clause at 50 million. I still don't know why United haven't gone in for Thomas Partey. It's so infuriating. Well, I do know why. It's because Sancho's our top priority and we don't have the bottle to spend sort of like Chelsea have in this window to really have a stab at closing the gap properly. The way we see it, really, we're 4 signings away at this moment in time from having a full deck of cards to be able to play with. We need a centre-back, we need a left-back, we need a CDM, really. We do need a CDM. Okay, we've got Matic now, but really we need somebody to overtake Matic and somebody who can come in there and do that job for us over the course of a season. Matic isn't going to be doing all of that. No way. We also need a right winger. I don't know why we didn't go in for Thomas Partey. I agree, I think that would have been a great signing. A bunch of 1s coming in the live chat. Gerard says 1 and buy a centre-back 2. Yeah, nice one. So a lot of people would have Ismaila Sarr. Ollie In says 2. No, he's not up for it. Who would you get instead then, Ollie In? Alicia says we're still in for Sancho. He's coming. Yeah, no, I'm not saying we're not in for Sancho. We are still in for Sancho. I just think there is a good chance that the deal cannot be agreed between Dortmund and United. There's a shit ton of money involved. United had their negotiations with them at the start of the window, which didn't work out. We were lowballing them. We were trying to spread it over multiple years with the deal. And, of course, they rejected us. Dortmund have since said that they have no interest in selling him in this window, which is all just hearsay, really, because if the money's good enough, of course, they would definitely sell him. But that's the big question. Will the money be good enough from Manchester United? Will Woodward and Judge and these guys really be prepared to go and recruit Sancho for 120 million euros if that's what it takes? Because Dortmund might not accept a penny less. That's true. They don't have to sell him right now. They could sell him in January for the same amount and get a few months of service out of him. So they don't have to sell him. United have to make the deal sweet enough. So we'll see if that happens. But at this moment in time, I'm just not 100% convinced the Sancho deal's happening. If it happens, brilliant, but there's a chance that it won't, of course. Rahat Ahmad has just subscribed. Thank you, Rahat, for getting in here, matey. Appreciate everyone who's subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Get involved. Click the bell icon as well to be notified when we post live. There's over 250 of you legends tuning in right now tonight. Do us a favour if you're getting in here. Please do smash a thumbs up on it and interact with everybody in the live chat. Get your questions in. John O'Denton says it's the worst window ever. It's right up there with the Marouane Fellaini window in my eyes, but maybe not quite as bad as that one. Nathan Tregoning says, Ollie needs experience, not just youth. Let's hope it doesn't backfire. Very, very true. I mean, the ideal window, if we're being honest now, yes, Partey would be brilliant, actually, but, there's that Kante link. One of those two in the centre of the park would be brilliant. A centre-back, Upamecano, Telles, and then a right winger. It doesn't have to be Sancho, but that would be the perfect window for me. Sancho would be brilliant because I think he's going to be just one of the best players in his position for the next decade. Andreas Hansen, thank you for subscribing. Mark Alexander says, if we don't sign Sancho, it will be the start of the United downfall. Sarr is another dead wood growing. How can you, as a United fan, be happy? Rubbish. I understand what you're saying. United should be going for the best players, absolutely. And I would be very disappointed if we don't get Sancho now in this window. Don't get me wrong, but all I'm saying is Ismaila Sarr, like I said, he's not really an alternative to Sancho. He's not on the same level as Sancho, but he's still a good player. It'd be better to have him than not, and he's getting better and he's young. So that's why I think he could offer us something. But is he a Jadon Sancho level player? Absolutely bloody not. Is he even a David Neres player? I don't think that he is. So there's other wingers, David Neres or even Adama Traore, certain players that are maybe more exciting that would be available for not a lot of money if the Sancho deal falls through. So I understand what you're saying. Ismaila Sarr's an option, but he's maybe not the best option. There are other options out there, but this is why he would appeal to United. It's a classic Woodward and Judge and these twat signings, to be fair, because he's somebody that's a bargain. He's got relegated with Watford. He's available for somewhere between 30 and 40 million pounds. It's understood United have made contact with Watford for an inquiry in regards to Sarr at the moment and his availability, and he's valued at 40 million. They paid 40 million for him. They want to get that back for him, but because they're relegated, because he's on big wages for a championship side, they might better get him for closer to 30 million, which is a bargain really for that kind of player, for somebody that Watford played 22 million for, that had some good stats in the last season, reasonable stats, not great, but okay stats for a shit team, and is 22, getting better, capped 25 times for his country. It's a good money deal. He's not going down in valuation. If Man United keep him for 5 years, they could sell him for a lot more money, I'd imagine, than what we paid for him, unless he does have an absolute shit time. That's also the issue. That's always an issue. Manu Forever says, if we don't get Sancho now, we won't get him at all. I think maybe we could still get him in January. If we didn't get him now, January would be our last chance. I think after January, everybody else would be interested in signing him as well. The only reason they're not interested in signing him right now is because Dortmund have him overpriced, because they don't want to sell him, because they don't need to sell him, because he's amazing for them. So they're valuing him higher than he's actually worth. He's a 90 million pound player, but they want 120 million for him. So no other clubs are interested in him. Plus it's the pandemic. Nobody's got a lot of money right now. So that's the big reason. Broken Us says, are we selling anyone? Yes, Broken Us. Let me give you an update then, folks, on who we're selling in this window and what's going on it's all kicked off in the last hour, really. There's been a lot of information. So we understand AC Milan have asked for Diogo Dalot on loan with a buy option. Manchester United want to sell him on a permanent deal. No agreement reached at the moment. This is from Fabrizio Romano at 10:47 p.m. So Diogo Dalot might be out. We understand he's not happy at Man United and the lack of games he got last season. So he's one that will be out the door probably very soon. Also, we had some more information from Fabrizio simply saying that Roma are preparing a new bid to sign Chris Smalling from Manchester United on a permanent deal. This was tweeted by him 25 minutes ago. Talks are reopened with Manchester United. Smalling are pushing to leave and come back to Roma. He wants to leave. He wants to come back. He wants to go back to Roma. He obviously had a successful time there. They want him back. They know what a good player he was for them. He did have a good season for them. He almost got himself back in England team because of a good season in Italy. So fair play to him. Good luck to him. I like Chris Smalling. I think he's a good lad, but he's just not United quality either. And I don't get this whole, we should get him because he's better than the shit we've got now. We can't take a step backwards to Chris Smalling now. What's next? Phil Jones and Smalling at centre back? You want to see Chris Smalling and Phil Jones at centre back again, do you guys? No. So let's get rid of him if we can. And Roma are interested. Inter are understood to be interested too. So that one's looking very likely for this window as well. And then the biggest one, the one that's definite at this moment, well, pending a medical, Fabrizio also came out a little while ago in regards to Andreas Pereira. Andreas Pereira's leaving Manchester United this window, at least on a loan. He's going to, look, Fabrizio tweeted 41 minutes ago, Andreas Pereira from Manchester United to Lazio. Here we go. Total agreement reached on a loan with an option to buy of 27 million euros. So future permanent fee to be paid if they want to take him on next season. If they want him after a year, let's see how if they do. But if they want him after a year, they can buy him for 27 million euros. That's what's being reported at the moment by Fabrizio. Salary will be shared, so we don't know the percentages of how much Manchester United are going to be paying. I don't know if he means shared like 50% each, but I doubt it. I think Lazio would be having to come up with at least 50 grand a week of his wages. United paid him the other 20 grand a week because he's on 70k a week, this Pratt. Andreas Pereira's on 70 grand a week. Doesn't that sicken you to your core? But anyway, fair play to him. You know, he's done a lot with very limited talent there. In all honesty, he's gone a long way with very limited talent. Medicals are on for this week. So Andreas Pereira is definitely leaving United in this window. He's going to Lazio. There's every possibility that he might be going there permanently after a year, but at this moment in time, it's just on a loan. So there's 3 really good bits of information if you're a United fan and you want to see these Deadwood players get the hell out of our football club. Diego Dalot's looking like he's going to either go on a loan to AC Milan at this stage, or FC Porto are coming in for him as well. We've been talking to Porto. They're interested in bringing Dalot in from what we understand. And of course, we're doing the deal with Telles at the moment. It probably won't be used as a swap, but maybe some sort of a make weight with him going in the opposite direction in a separate deal. Makes a heck of a lot of sense, folks, doesn't it? Because Dalot's just not going to get that many games. And Telles, if we can sweeten the deal with Porto, maybe get him for a little bit less money, it makes a heck of a lot of sense to do it. Ross Green says, Rojo ain't worth my toenail. He's not good. We need to get rid of him too. There's also discussions with Estudiantes again in terms of maybe him going out on a permanent loan again, or with a loan with a permanent move option, I mean, and or a permanent move in general just to somewhere else. We'll see what happens with Rojo. He's gash-tastic, man. He's definitely not up to the standard for us. Another thing I wanted to report on then, folks, so let's get into it. Then. Alex Telles. There's a little bit more news in terms of Alex Telles. So Manchester United have made an official initial bid for Porto's Alex Telles, with the club valuing the left back at around £12 million. So around about £12 million, 15 million euros, somewhere around that is what Manchester United have bid for Alex Telles, and that's looking likely that we're going to get him, to be honest. Like I said, we're talking to them about Dalot. We've got them bent over here because if they hang on, they're going to lose out on him because he'll go in and sign new terms with the club in January and leave at the end of next season for nothing. So they have to cash in now, and we're the only club that's really sniffing around him. So it's basically a no-brainer. Alex Telles is going to be a red as far as I'm concerned. We can't say it's a done deal yet because it's not, but there's nobody else that's looking likely that they could come and pinch him off of us. And also he wants to come and we need him, and it's not a lot of money, and they might want Dalot, and if they do want Dalot, then they're definitely going to have to sell us Alex Telles. So sounds very good, guys, about that one. We'll see what happens with Alex Telles. I think he's going to probably be coming in the next 2 or 3 days. Just a hunch. I think he probably will get the medical done very soon. They'll probably agree these terms in the next day or 24 hours. And then hopefully they'll be able to get him in very quickly before the end of September. That's my hunch. Maybe not. It could be the end of the window. Like I say, Porto are having to sort of try and wait a little bit to get a little bit more money. They're still squeezing United up on the price a little bit. But like I say, United are in the strong position here because we're the ones who are taking him. Nobody else is at this stage anyway, as far as we're concerned. And he wants to come. And so what can they really do to keep him? They can't. If they can keep him for the whole season if they want, but they will lose 15 million. They will lose 15 million euros if they want to keep him for the whole of the season. So that's madness. They're not going to do that. They'll definitely sell him on in this window to United. It's a no-brainer. So come on, my son, get in there. Alex Telles, he's going to be the man on his way, hopefully soonest, quickest. Man United's next signing, the second signing, only the second signing of the window if we get him. That's despicable. There's over 300 of you watching now. Thanks, folks, for stopping by and getting involved with this debate and this chat tonight. Smash the thumbs up on the video if you haven't done so already. Leave a cheeky little thumbs up on it if you haven't. That'll help us out a lot, and get involved. DJ Sonic says, please update us regarding Jadon Sancho. So in regards to Jadon Sancho, the only extra information that we have right now is that Manchester United are expected to make an official bid for Jadon Sancho in the coming days. There's no movement. There's been no official bid as of yet. We're still biding our time on Jadon Sancho, and what we are trying to do is just drive that price down just a little bit by hanging on to the end of the window. It's a risky business. He's still favourite to stay at Dortmund with the bookmakers, so United's tactics are to go in last moment, try with a little bit of a cheeky low offer and try and get him. Either that, failing that, they might just end up paying Dortmund's valuation of him just to not lose any face. Just so Ed Woodward and co don't look like a right bunch of incompetent melts that they truly are. But they would look incompetent in my eyes. Just what would that mean? They've hung on for two months just to save a few million on wages, basically. Because if they go back and pay the full amount of money, then they should have just done that at the start of the window. So it's going to be less money, I think. Even if it's 5 million, 10 million less, you might see a combined total of 110 million euros or 115 million euros. Just a little bit less than that 120 million. Otherwise, United's ego, Mr. Potato Head, Eddie Woody Woodward, will get some bloody smeg on his face. And nobody wants that, do they? So that's why they wouldn't pay the total money. I reckon it's either a little bit less or nout. Jarvis Cocker, thank you very much for the 100 knock, bro. He comments and he says with a super chat, we have the money, but that cheeky twastard Woodward hesitates, trying to save face after playing hardball to get a few bucks while jeopardising the most important signing of the summer. You've summed it up brilliantly, Jarvis Cocker there, my friend. You know he's an absolute meltbag, Woodward, and you're right. He's jeopardised our whole bloody season and the start and the preparation of the season we've had by all this fanny, dilly-dallying, namby-pambying around in this window this summer. Joke, man. These guys are absolute wastrels. In all honesty, man. They're feral, these guys. I would take them out into the outback and put them down, man. If figuratively speaking, if I was in charge of this bloody football club, but unfortunately I'm not. Unfortunately, we just have to basically put up with these potato melts. That's what we have to do. So yes, that's quite interesting, isn't it, folks, in regards to Sancho. We'll see what happens with that. You know, it's not really about Sancho this video because there's no more movement in terms of Sancho. That's it. We'll see. United still expected to lodge that bid any moment. We even may be negotiating with them right now. Look, we don't know too much about it. They've done it very privately. Since the very public negotiations at the start of the summer, there's even reports to say that we have been in constant contact with Dortmund throughout this window. So I think everything's being very hush-hush. We understand United want something verbal before they fully commit. They don't want to be left looking like a bunch of absolute tits again if we go and fail yet again in negotiations for Jadon Sancho. So they're biding their time. They're waiting for it to be dead cert, really, and they're trying to just sort of basically gauge if they can get this guy for the price that they want to pay for it before they officially go and have negotiations with Dortmund, because otherwise it's going to get out in the media and everyone is going to know about it, and if we can't reach an agreement, then the United fans are going to bloody riot. The United fans would bloody riot, wouldn't they? Nice one. Okay then, what else then, folks? Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a little vote. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Jadon Sancho's going to be a red in this window. Let's just have a little vote. Smash a 1 if you think Sancho's going to be a red in this window. Voodoo Chili says, Pig, Liverpool wants some competition from United. Slapping United with Sancho would feel so good. Oh, yeah, nice one, mate, yeah. Well, we'll see. Enjoy your moment at the moment, mate. Enjoy your moment. It probably won't last very long, but enjoy it. It's definitely not going to last like a dynasty like Sir Alex Ferguson created anyway. Lots of 1s coming in, but also a lot of 2s. Thirsty Ray, how's it going, Thirsty Ray? Rossard Nicholas, having your votes. Welsh Red, Vincent Bullock, Nick Harris. Danny Atkins says, nope, we won't get Sancho. It's very split, in, to be honest with you. In the live chat here, it's very split. I have no idea if it's going to happen myself. I'm sort of like 40% Sancho's coming. John O'Denton thinks 2, but only in January window. I think that's looking quite likely as well. Imagine that, because you look at the other transfers we've done recently, Bruno Fernandes being a fine example. We needed him at the start of the window. We didn't get him because we were fannying around trying to save money. They were just like, yeah, you know what, Sporting were like, yeah, you know what, we'll just keep him until January and whatever. And then obviously they did sell him because the price was diminishing, which will happen eventually with Jadon Sancho. But you can't be living like that, folks. You've got to get the business done early in this window. King George has just subscribed. Thank you, King George, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it, my friend. Daz Sweet says there's no way he's coming now. I hear you. I mean, I don't know. I think there is some way he's coming. Don't rule it out entirely. United could pull a little rabbit out the hat on this one. Danny Atkins says we could well get him in January. Can't see it then. Not this summer. Yeah, that's the thing. January does make a heck of a lot of sense. Dortmund, they could keep him until January. Get most of the season done. Get a shitload of goals and assists out of him and keep a really great player for them. And his value doesn't even go down in January. United would still have to come in and pay a similar amount of money to get Jadon Sancho then. So it's not like his valuation goes down. There even might be other clubs that are interested in him come that time as well that want to spend the money in January. So for Dortmund, it's a win-win. Either they get 120 million now and make a big premium and get an extra 30 million really on top of his actual value and sell him now, or they wait and they sell him for probably about the same amount of money in January anyway after he scored them a shit ton of goals. Colonel Ward says, you owe me a tenner. What's that in regards to, Colonel Ward? Ashley Jenkins says, we won't get Sancho in January if we pay £40 million for Sarr in this window. Yeah, that's also true. That's true. I mean, the Sarr link, you know, take that with a pinch of salt as well. We are understood to have made contact with Watford, but again, this could just be all part of the big PR train at United where we're trying to get some pressure forced upon Dortmund. So take that with a pinch of salt. Ross Green says, any thoughts on what Roy Keane said? Yes, mate. So I do have some thoughts on what Roy Keane said. Obviously, Roy Keane came out and he said, if they don't invest, if Manchester was having a go about Manchester United on lack of investment in this window, and he's so spot on, and he said, I've got a quote of this here actually, he simply said, if they don't invest in the next week, it's tough days ahead for Manchester United. He's absolutely right. United need to strengthen. There's teams around us doing the business. Chelsea have signed all those goddamn players. There's so many players coming into this league right now, and so many different transfers taking place, and there's no good reason for United to have sacked it off all window long. The only reason is to save pennies, and if we get all these players at the end of the window, great, but it would have been nicer to get them in earlier on in the window and actually start the season with a bit more vitality about us. So that's why we need competition in this team. Everyone's stagnating and like a bunch of bloody swamp things out there, you know what I mean? Messing around like these big lethargic messes, bubbling with green moss and ooze out there. It's a bloody swamp at United. We need to get some quality in. And unfortunately, we are lacking in areas, and we're still going to be lacking in areas after this window. Because even if we do get Sancho in, I hate to tell you this, guys, we've still got a shit back line. We've still got a freaking gas-tastic back defence line. We are shit at the back. Yes, if we get Tellers in, that could be a huge boost. Luke Shaw's a good player on his day. Very much rate Luke Shaw. Lindelof can dwindle off to bloody IKEA, or wherever the hell he needs to go to get a job after United. Because I've had enough of this twat. And bloody get a job at Volvo or something, you melt. I could see Victor Lindelof doing that. He could be a bloody car salesman for Volvo. That's fitting. That's befitting of the man. But playing for Manchester United, being a Manchester United's key centre-back, or alongside Harry Maguire, or in a centre-back partnership at United, absolutely bloody not. He's nowhere near up to the standard. So Victor Lindelof can dwindle off as far as I'm concerned, and then we've got all that other shit at the back. So I hate to tell you this, even if we do get Sancho, even if we do sign Tellez, we're still going to be shit at the back, because we're not addressing the actual issue that we've got, which is the centre-back issue. We just need a top-quality player, a really good up-and-comer in that position. Batman Nightfan says, I haven't seen live chat frozen. What do you mean the live chat's frozen? Oh, shit. The live chat's frozen on the thing. Let me try and fix that out, guys. I think it's because there's a lot of comments coming through here. Let me just see if I can fix it and give it a little refresher mundo. But that is gashtastic if the live chat has broken. And now it's completely broken. Now it's properly broken. Let's try and fix it properly. But yeah, that's not good. Now it's completely broken. Not seen that one before, folks. Not seen that one before, folks. But never mind, never mind. Let me do that and see if that works. There we go, there we go. It should be working again now, folks. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. Like, live chat's gone gosh-tastic. There we go, there we go. Great stuff. Okay, it's fixed. Thank you very much for letting me know that one, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ellie. She said it's been gone about 5 minutes, I think. Oh, nightmare. Well, thank you so much to everybody who's kept me up to date with that. I've updated it now. I think it's because there's so many bloody comments coming through here. It can't keep up. It needs me to refresh the cache every now and again, you know? Okay then, folks, let's get on to the rest of the news, and then we will go back and round up what we've talked about for anybody who's just getting in here. Smash that like button. Manchester United have made an initial bid for Porto's Alex Tellez, with the club valuing the left-back at around £12 million. So there you go in regards to that. Roy Keane, if they don't invest in this next week, it's tough days ahead. Absolute nonsense, this window for Manchester United. Absolute nonsense. And Diogo Dalot's looking likely to be maybe going to AC Milan or potentially Porto. Check this out as well. Thank you, Mr. Guru Rushmeister, for sending this information over that. It's just come out not so long ago. Manchester United are preparing to activate beast mode. No, I'm kidding. We're preparing to activate a 1-year extension option in Paul Pogba's contract. United are yet to discuss a longer extension to his contract, but know they have a safety net existing in his current deal. So United, obviously, he's only got a year left on his contract, but they can trigger a year extension to actually increase the contract by a further year at any stage, I believe. So very interesting. We have the right to do that. What do you guys think about a potential for Paul Pogba extending his contract? I personally would like to see him sold. I really would. I mean, maybe they just do that in order to keep his value up, in order to keep his transfer value up. But actually, Paul Pogba's getting to the point for me where I just kind of think, he's had his time. He's never really lived up to it. He's not consistent enough. And he's valued at a high amount of money. That money could be better spent elsewhere. So that's kind of how I feel on Pogba. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you would offer Paul Pogba a new contract. Jay says, Pigba, no. Ashley Jenkins says, get rid of Gash Pogba. Mad Animal says Dalot, Smalling and Pereira leaving, Telles, Sancho incoming, Pogba contract extension, big week ahead. Absolutely, you've summed it up very well there for anybody just getting in, really. That's what the key stories are tonight, folks. Dalot, Smalling and Pereira leaving. Pereira's already agreed terms with Lazio and the clubs have reached an agreement now. That's a done deal pretty much, just pending a medical. Dalot is definitely leaving this football club in my opinion as well. He definitely wants game time and he's not going to get that at United. Porto interested, Milan also interested on a loan. And Roma have also reignited an interest in Chris Smalling and they're believed to be readying an offer for him as per Fabrizio Romano. So lots of good information, lots of good news coming out in regards to getting some of this deadwood out of our football club. And like you say, Sancho incoming potentially, we'll see. If not, then there should be somebody else incoming. Maybe this Ismaila Sarr character that we keep talking about. Telles definitely is coming though. Telles is 100% coming. Come on, there's no way that Telles isn't coming now. It would take something absolutely ridiculous for Telles not to come now. But let's not tempt fate. Let's not tempt fate. Thank you so much, Primot. He says, whatever you're eating at the moment, spit a mouthful at the like icon. Thank you, Primot. You don't have to do that. Just feather it with your finger there. Give it a cheeky little thumbs up on the like if you haven't done so already. Appreciate that, dude. Ross Green says, Pogba swap with Savage. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? If we could get some sort of swap deal for another good player, but I'd rather just have the money and then go and spend it on a couple of different players that we could get. Hey, Stephen Duffy, I'm good, man. How are you doing? Tim Ballerkamp says Pogba contract ends 2021. Yeah. So if United want to actually keep his value up and extend it, we've got the option to extend it for another year, so we could extend it to 2022. We've got the option to do that. We're understood to be ready in that now. So Matt Rush has just given me an update this evening. Thank you very much for that. Just simply saying that Man United are preparing to activate a one-year extension option in Paul Pogba's contract, and United are yet to discuss a longer extension to his contract, but we have that safety net of just being able to offer him that one-year extension without him being able to turn it down. It's just basically a trigger clause. You can trigger it if you so wish to extend it, as you've got the option to do it. There's nothing really the player can do about it. From what I understand, that is the clause in the contract. Also, there is some information in regards to Phil Jones. It's not good information because of Phil Jones is obviously injured and stuff, and nobody wants him, and he's gash-tastic, and he's awful, and he's on £130 a week, and he drives a pink Lamborghini. He's a flamboyant mess, and he's got a face like a Gurn in international competition of Gurn. Then I would say that nobody really wants Phil Jones, and that's the problem. So Phil Jones ain't going nowhere, folks. Phil Jones, get used to looking at that face. Do you know what they should do? They should make a Phil Jones statue and put it outside Old Trafford, shouldn't they, really? Proper Gurn fest. Put it out there and go, by the way, we've got, you could have Dennis Law or Bobby Charlton or whatever, but we've got a Phil Jones statue just to tell you how shit things once were. Remember, future generations, it will have a plaque that says, this is the international Gurn face of Phil Jones. Remember that United were this shit at one point. That's what it will say. Anyway, I don't know what I'm on about, folks. Don't mind me. Ryan Burbisman says Phil Jones gets injured every transfer window. I know, that's it. He's getting somebody to sledgehammer his leg every single transfer window, like in Misery. He just gets Kathy Bates on the blow around. Can you smash my ankle, please, Kathy? Because I don't want to move anywhere. I'm loving my 130k a week, turning up at Carrington in my pink Lambo. So please just smash me in every now and then I won't be able to move. It seems like it. RS YouTube says Phil Jones is a dickhead. I mean, he does seem like a bit of a tit, just for having that car alone. I don't need to know anything about his character other than that. If you drive around in a pink Lambo like that, I'm sorry, you're probably a bit of a tithead. It's just one of those things, they sort of go hand in hand. Peter Coveney says he will get a testimonial soon. How many appearances has Phil Jones had? He's played for England and stuff, this guy, a bunch as well. Let's just have a look at Phil Jones's career. I just want to have a look at his statistics, because it's very interesting to see what sort of career statistics he's got. Let me just have a look. Do you know what? Phil Jones has won the following things. He has a transfer market value of £6 million. And he's got a contract length of quite a while, I think. Yeah, contract runs out in 2023. So to have a value of £6 million when your contract don't run out for 3 years and you're on 130 grand a week, guess what? You've got to be shit. You've got to be really shit to have a 6 million valuation with 3 years left on the contract on 130 grand a week. You've got to be shit, don't you? Anyway, that's just their rough estimation of a value, and it's probably true. But he's won the Premier League, this man. He's won the Premier League. He's won the FA Cup. He's won the English League Cup. He's also won the Europa League, and he's won a couple of Super Cups, I think, or one. I don't know, actually. No, what is that? Is that just the Charity Shield? I don't know. Sorry, I think that's the Charity Shield. Either way, he's won a couple of things, this guy. He's won a bunch of stuff, and it is mad. I can't believe that he's won so many things. But there you go. Obviously, he was in a team for a little bit where Sir Alex Ferguson signed Phil Jones, who's been at the club a long time. Sir Alex signed him. Obviously, that was a successful period. So that's why. But let's just have a look at Phil Jones's career quickly. So, in the Premier League, in the 1920 season, that's last season, the whole of last season, he played 2 appearances. He made 2 appearances. He played for 135 minutes. He also made 2 appearances in the EFL Cup, 1 appearance in the FA Cup, and he scored. That's right. And also in the Europa League, he played 3 times. That's his whole contribution to United last season. Get the fuck out of my club, you absolute gurning mess. How dare you take 130k out of our bloody coffers every week, you gurning mess. Seriously? Look at that. He's played bloody handful of games for United last season. What does this guy actually do other than warm the bench? Really? And look like a complete bloody Notre Dame tower dweller. That's what he looks like. Anyway, sorry, that's a bit harsh, but it's true. Look, let's have a look at this then. And then the season before that, he played 18 times in the Premier League, 3 times in the Champions League, twice in the... Basically, no bastard's ever really played him that much because he's shit. Nobody really wants Phil Jones. I certainly don't. So, look, he's garbage. He's never done anything. Look at this. England. He's played 27 times for England, this guy. How has he played 27 times for England, man? That's miraculous. That is miraculous. That fills me with hope. That fills me with hope that one day I may be called up for an international cap. That fills me with hope, guys. If Phil Jones is getting there and playing 27 times for England, surely I can get 1. Can't I get 1? Look at this. He's played 200 appearances in the Premier League, Phil Jones. That's mad. 2 goals, 9 assists. That's not too bad for a centre-back, really. That's not too bad. 224 games for Manchester United, 6 goals, 10 assists. He's freaking shite. He's absolutely shite. Ain't about the goals anyway for centre-backs. About if we had the stats of how many he's conceded or how many errors he's made, that would be more appropriate and he'd be absolutely freaking shit. But Phil Jones is a clown. I can't stand the bloke. I just want him gone. You know, he seems a nice enough lad, actually, but he must be a tit because of what he drives, and he also just gets paid a lot of money to do nothing, and I hate people. I hate hangers-on. That's what I couldn't stand about that tit Alexis Sanchez. I just can't stand hangers-on at this bloody football club. Okay then, folks, let's do a little bit of a roundup. Folks, and then we'll get into your comment section and have a bit of a Q&A. Shout out to you all for stopping by for this video today. Smash that like button. Roy Keane 2-foot tackle it. Marouane Fellaini elbow it. Zinedine Zidane headbutt it. And leave a little cheeky like rating. Thank you very much, folks. Let's see if we can smash 200 likes on the stream. That would be sensational. Okay then, let's get into it then. So, little update for you, little rundown, little roundup. If anybody's just getting in here and you want to know a little bit of information and you're just stopping by, then I will go back. I'll just give you a quick 5-10 minute brief and then we'll get into your comments and see what you guys think. So in regards to a 1-year extension for Paul Pogba, that's just come out that United are preparing to activate a 1-year extension to Pogba's contract. We'll see about that. It also looks like AC Milan have asked Diogo Dalot on loan with a buy option. Manchester United want to sell him on a permanent deal. There's no agreement reached at the moment, but AC Milan interested in taking Diogo Dalot on loan this season. Also, it's understood that Manchester United have had interest from FC Porto, who we're currently dealing with for Alex Tellers in regards to Diogo Dalot as well. So maybe some sort of a make weight for that deal, or give an option to have him permanently if we don't want to loan him to AC Milan. So that's quite interesting. Also, AS Roma are preparing a new bid to sign Chris Smalling from Manchester United at this moment in time. Talks have reopened between Roma and Manchester United, and Smalling wants to leave and they want him back. So that's looking very positive. We could finally be getting rid of a lot of this deadwood. Andreas Pereira is leaving. He's going to Lazio. Fabrizio Romano tweeted a little while ago, here we go, the deal's done, it just needs the medical. He's going on a loan deal. United are sharing some of the wages with Lazio, and there is a future option to buy as well, somewhere in the region of 27 million euros, which is mental. But that's the figure that's being quoted at this moment in time. Also, what else has happened? Quite interesting. Fabrizio's also mentioned this a little while ago. Come on, Torino, get in there. Fabrizio, this is new. I haven't mentioned this. Sorry, thank you, Matt Rush. Fabrizio Romano, Torino have opened talks with Bournemouth to sign Joshua King. Negotiations are on at the moment. So that's via Fabrizio Romano. Torino have opened talks with Bournemouth to sign Josh King. So that's a player that United will link with. I personally don't want to see Josh King come. I don't think he's good enough standard for United. So go to Torino, son. Who played for Torino? Name the other English player in recent times that played for Torino. Little quiz. Let's see if you can get it. Let's see if you can remember. Who is the one English player, I think it was only one, who played for Torino, let's say in the last 7 or 8 years? Let's see if anybody can get it quickly. Let's have a look. Anyway, thank you very much to everyone who's stopping by. Yes, you got it there. Ross Green, Joe Hart, Ross Green, Jonathan Gallagher, Dave Lucas got it. Wakas Akram, he says no idea. Yeah, it was Joe Hart, Torino. Anyway, that could happen, so that would be good if Joshua King didn't end up at Torino, so we were no longer bloody linked with him, because I'm sick and tired of that Josh King link, to be honest with you. He's not United standard at all. Right then, also to give you a rundown of other stuff that's happened, Manchester United have inquired to Watford about Ismaila Sarr. He's available for somewhere in the region of £40 million. Maybe United could push it down to 30 million. He's not really seen to me as an alternative for Jadon Sancho. He's more just another player to have around in the squad. Or I guess you could say a backup, but if you can't get Sancho, maybe you should be going to get somebody a little bit better. It's too much of a budget option, isn't it? It's like, here's what you could have won with Jadon Sancho, but no, we're going to get the version that's a couple of years older and definitely doesn't have anywhere near the stats, and it's just, nowhere near as good. So that would be the case if we didn't get Sancho when we got Ismaila Sarr, and that would be pitiful. We couldn't just settle with that. We'd have to still go and get Jadon Sancho at a later date, but maybe Ismaila Sarr could be that little bit of a stopgap until January, I guess, and he's still a good young player to have around the squad and play in various positions after that. So that might be a legitimate link, folks. Also, anybody who missed the afternoon video today, United, there was some talk earlier, not that realistic, but talk earlier that Manchester United were interested in Kante because Frank Lampard's obviously signed a bunch of midfielders this season. They've got a lot of players ahead of him in the pecking order now. He's 29, he's on a lot of money. Maybe they'd be looking to move him on. So, I don't know, I don't think it's realistic for Kante at all, but it's another topic just to let you know. Thank you very much who's just subscribed. It's Kevin Anderson's just subscribed. Shout out Kevin Anderson. Appreciate you subscribing, mate. Yeah, if you're new to the show, smash that subscribe button as well. We do these daily videos giving you up-to-date information about all of the latest goings on with Man United. So keep an eye out, subscribe, click the bell icon, and that way you will be notified when we go live. Okay then, so I think that's pretty much all the bases covered there. The main news, Andreas Pereira on his way to Lazio, pending a medical. That's all done. Loan deal with a permanent move. Man United looking to extend Paul Pogba's contract by a year. That could happen very soon. Ismaila Sarr, Manchester United inquire in regards to Watford player Ismaila Sarr. We've also opened up negotiations, or Smalling and Roma have opened up negotiations with United for Smalling. Manchester United have had an offer from AC Milan to take Diogo Dalot on loan with a permanent offer to buy in the future. And also the other one, Andreas Pereira has gone to Lazio on a season-long loan. I think that's all of the information on all the news tonight. Nice one, guys. Thank you very much for getting in here tonight. And we're going to have a Q&A now. I'm not going anywhere. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to have a Q&A, so smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Let's see if we can get 200 likes on the stream, lads and lasses. Let's do it. Give it a share on social media if you can as well. That'd be absolutely sick as a big old you-know-what. Anyway, let's do this. So get in here, Bacon Brigade. How you doing, folks? Let's have a little bit of a cheeky chat back. DJ Sonic says, go Pereira, go. Go Pereira. Go to Lazio. Go Andreas Pereira. Yes, a mighty morphin Andreas Pereira. That'd be the worst TV show ever. Wouldn't that be the most awful TV show ever? A TV show literally based on the career and life of Andreas Pereira. Anyway, John A comments, we need Upamecano and Sumer. Hey, fair play, John A. I would love to see Upamecano come in. He's definitely somebody we need to bring in, but he's not on our list at the moment for some reason, it seems. Doesn't seem like they're actually prioritising centre-back at all at this football club, which I don't understand. We've all been talking about it for ages. We all know that we need a centre-back, but we haven't prioritised it at all. It's Gasharama, folks. Makes no sense. We need a centre-back. Disco Dave, I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, my friend. Not just yet. Anyway, Fozzie Aussie, how you doing, Fozzie Aussie? David Murphy, Mr. Miyagi. Jonathan Gallagher says, Pig, I'm glad Andreas Pereira is gone. Me too, you know. He's just had a very lackluster time at the football club. He's always been quite disappointing. Last season, he played a lot of games. We went through his stats. I think it was like 18 games or something, maybe even more, 22 games that he played for United last season. He did nothing. He's gash-tastic. He's nowhere near the quality of United. Everybody can see that. See you later on, Andreas. You know, seems a nice guy. Good luck to him. But no, bye. See ya. See you later on, pal. He's too much of a festerer. He's just festering in United's team doing nothing. I mean, actually, put his contribution out of 10 in the live chat. I'm going to put I think his contribution, his rating as a United player since the time he's been here, out of 10, there it is. 2. He's got a 2 out of 10. And that's generous, to be honest. I can't think of anything that he's really ever done to contribute to Manchester United doing anything good at all. Jim Joe Bobby says 2. Jonathan Gallagher 1. Anthony Marcio 1. Court 1. Paul Van der Beek 2. You know, this is out of 10. Ross Green says 7 out of 10. What? I'd give 7 out of 10 to like Michael Carrick or something as a contribution. So, you know, let's just get the player ratings right here. Carrick was sick, obviously, but he didn't have the contribution of Giggs or Scott. You know, you'd have to say those guys were 10s. So you have to give Carrick a 7. So that means Andreas Pereira's a bloody 1 or a 2. He's definitely not a 7. Apex Destroyer says 5. That is generous. Laurent Frangi, thank you, Laurent. He says, first time on your channel, mate. Looks like shits and giggles. You're spot on there, really, Laurent. More of the giggles, less of the shits. But you never know sometimes. We do eat a lot on this channel. Nutu Thuko Undlov comments, bacon +1. Nice one, Nutu Thuko Undlov. Thank you for getting in here, buddy. AK1 as well. Amici Kelvin says, I'm not happy about this transfer this season. Who bloody is? This transfer window is depressing. You know, if you think that this is a fitting transfer window for United for the year 2020, you're spot on. Because 2020 has been a shite year all round, and this summer window fits just in keeping with that for United, doesn't it? Mike Dillon says half, so 0.5 you mean? Welsh Red says -10. Brommy Red says 3, Paul Van der Beek 1, Vincent Bullock 2. Yeah, not many people rating Andreas Pereira at all. You're right, Ross Green. Depression FC. It's very disappointing being a United fan in this window. The most infuriating window since David Moyes' window. Disappointing, not knowing where our next signing's coming from, scratching around, trying to save those pennies, waiting until the last moments of the transfer window to get our business done when all teams are strengthening around us. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful behaviour from our board. Scraping around. To be fair, it works. It works. They save the money. That's all they care about. If you actually look at the Tellez deal, they're going to get him for somewhere near £12 million because that's what they're going to pay for him, because they're going to get probably maybe Dallo go the other way. We'll see about that. But even if they don't, Tellez has to go in this window if they want any money. So they will sell him to us, and we probably won't pay much more than 12 million. I think 15 million euros is probably going to be the figure that we pay for Tellez. That doesn't sound ridiculous when you consider Thiago moved from Bayern Munich to Liverpool for 20 million euros, and he's obviously a much bigger named player. Okay, he's 2 years older than Tellez, so that is a factor also. But the fact is, Thiago's a top world-class player, and he only costs 20. So there's no way United can pay up to that amount of money for him. They'll look like absolute melts, I think. So 15 million, 17 million euros, somewhere around that will be the figure that we signed Tellez for, I believe. Batman Night Fan comments, we should bid for Son. I mean, Son's just got injured, hasn't he, with a hamstring injury, but I would obviously love Son at United, but it's never going to happen, I don't think. We're not that, you know, a few years ago, if we had Fergie at the club and United were United and Tottenham were Tottenham still, and it was that, like the old days when Fergie was here, we could get Son, we could get Kane, we could have gone and got those players in the summer, just like we got Carrick, just like we got Berbatov from them. You know, we had that ability to do that then, but we don't really have that ability to do that now. Plus, Spurs aren't that same selling club that they really were. The last sort of big player that they lost out like that, I guess it was Gareth Bale. Since then, they haven't really been a selling club. They've been able to keep hold of Bale. They've been able to keep hold of Son and these guys. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I would love to see one of those players come, but it's just not going to happen. Mr. Miyagi, he comments, you think tomorrow's game will be out like Saturday? Are we playing tomorrow or is it the next day? Let me have a look, because I thought it was Tuesday, but then somebody told me it is indeed Wednesday. So 7:45, September 30th. Yeah, it's indeed on Wednesday. So it's actually on Wednesday, the League Cup game against Brighton. Look, I think we're going to have to do better than that game. I think we've got to tear them apart. But it really depends on what sort of squads these teams put out. Because Brighton have got the league game, obviously, at the weekend. So have we. We've got a big game against Tottenham. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer select a really strong side, or will he select another B team? Will it be, Fred and McTominay starting in the middle of the park or something like that, just to give players a rest? Or will he actually put Pogba out there to give him more game time, because he's really struggling at the moment and needs some minutes maybe? Will he give players extra game time for this game and still play them at the weekend? I don't know. It really depends. A lot of these players are lacking that match sharpness, so giving them games is what makes a lot of sense. Sonny Coe comments, fire Woodward and hire Zlatan. We will get anyone we want for free. No one says no to Zlatan. Hey, spot on, man. Zlatan would be the ultimate negotiator. And if they didn't agree terms with him, he'd just give him an old taekwondo cheeky elbow or something. Do you know what I mean? Or a kick to the face. Obviously, taekwondo's kicking, so you wouldn't really elbow him, but you know what I mean. Jonathan Gallagher says, let's smash. Gaz G comments, Kante, Sarr and Tellez, that would do me. That would do me too, in all honesty. Yeah, I wouldn't have any issues with that at all. I think we could definitely do with getting Kante in. I don't think it's realistic, but yeah, if that's how the window ended, I'd take Kante. Sarr would be a good addition. It's not absolutely inspirational, though, like Sancho. And Tellez, definitely that's going to happen, so spot on. Nice one, mate. Thank you for having your say. Fahad Amin says, Josh King is not coming, thank goodness. No, there's talks of Torino opening up talks with Bournemouth for Josh King now. Look, don't rule it out. United probably will go in for bloody Josh King. If we don't get Sancho come the end of the window, probably bloody will go in for Josh King. He's a cheap player, available for 20 mil, a good squad player, but that's what he bloody is, folks. He's never going to live up to it for United to be a world beater, so it's another non-inspirational signing, kind of like Ismail Sarr, but not even as good as that signing, I think. I think Ismail Sarr's a better signing. I don't know, what do you guys think? Who would you actually rather have? I mean, I know Josh King's more of a goal scorer as well, forward player. Obviously, Sarr's more of your out-and-out traditional winger. Josh King does that too. But what do you think is the player that you would like the most to see at United? If you couldn't get Sancho and you had to choose between either Josh King or Ismail Sarr, smash a 1 in the live chat for Josh King, smash a 2 in the live chat for Sarr. Wakas Akram says Sarr. Wizzy Lino comments, if we get Kante and a new striker, then we can challenge for the title. I do think having Kante would do unbelievable things for our midfield. It really would. When you think of having Bruno, Pogba, Kante in the same midfield, or Donny and Kante and Pogba, or Donny and Kante and Bruno, it all sounds pretty amazing. Lots of twos coming in here, so every single one of you... every single one of you wants Sarr. Nobody loving Josh King at all. Josh King getting no love from the live chat here, folks. You all hate him. Yeah, me too, though. I mean, definitely Sarr over him. Ashley Jenkins with the 2, Polar Bear with the 2, Disco Dave with the 2. Great to see all you guys, by the way. Thank you for stopping in here for tonight's show. Jarvis Cocker comments, I would have Jens Petter Haig. You've probably never seen him play, but believe me, he's a true baller. Yeah, well, this is another player that United have been linked with, you see. This Haig player. And yeah, he's supposed to be a very good player. AC Milan are also sniffing around him. We'll see about that one. That could be a random, cheeky little random surprise signing that we get before the window, if our board's got any bollocks about them anyway. Primot says, Vardy is one of the all-time Premier League greats. What a striker. Is he? Do you think Vardy's one of the all-time Premier League greats? He's pushing it for me, but I don't know if you could say he's one of the all-time Premier League greats. I don't know if the longevity's there. I mean, how many goals has Jamie Vardy scored in total? I don't think it's anywhere near like the biggest figures. I'd say it's probably like 150 or something, which is actually really good. It's actually really sick. Jamie Vardy goals, maybe 100 to 150. Jamie Vardy goals in Premier League. Let's have a look and see if we can find a figure. Statistics, Premier League. Let's have a look. 108 goals in 214 appearances. He has won the Premier League, of course, with Leicester. 108 goals in 214 appearances. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if he's a legend or not. I'm not so sure about that one. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Vardy's a legend. Legend is a word that gets bandied around a little bit too much, folks. I mean, I look at Premier League strikers and I think of people like Alan Shearer being a legend. I think of Thierry Henry. I think of, who else? Who else are all the top goal scorers in the Premier League history? There's a shit ton of them. Your Les Ferdinands, your Kevin Phillipses. They're definitely not. They're definitely... Well, I mean, Kevin Phillips scored over 30 goals. Les Ferdinand was a goal machine as well. I mean, how many... Let's just have a look. Les Ferdinand Premier League goals. I bet he's got more than Vardy. And you wouldn't... A lot of you wouldn't even consider Les Ferdinand a Premier League legend. So, 149 goals for Les Ferdinand in the Premier League in 351 appearances. So, a lot more goals. A few more appearances, though. So, you know what I mean? If Les Ferdinand... I don't know, if Les Ferdinand is outscoring Jamie Vardy, I'm saying Jamie Vardy's not a legend. That might be a bit harsh. Drogba, absolutely. Now, that's a legend, to be fair. You know, say what you want about Drogba, but he was like a big game player for Chelsea. He literally would score in every big FA Cup final, any final that they had, Champions League final. He would score. He was the Mr. Dependable in the big games. And actually, statistically, I bet if you look at... Let's have a look at Drogba's goals. I bet you Drogba scored a shit more goals than Vardy as well. What's Vardy, 33? I mean, in the short time he's been at the top level of the game, he has been pretty amazing, but I would say there's no way he's got anywhere near the amount of goals Drogba got. Let's have a look. Didier Drogba, 124 goals in 309 appearances. Quite interesting. I mean, look, there's not that much discrepancy in there, but Drogba was a great provider of goals as well. I think that's also a factor. Anyway, it's an interesting debate you've brought up here. Jamie Vardy, is he a legend? I say no. I say no. I don't know what you guys... Primot says Vardy's 33. Isn't Vardy 33? Bloody hell. I don't know. Vardy age. Yeah, he's 33. Yeah, he's 33. You have to remember, Vardy was playing non-league football like 10 years ago. The Jamie Vardy story is absolutely amazing, in all honesty. He was playing like... Who was it even for? Wasn't it for like Wealdstone Raiders or some shit? I can't remember, but he was playing proper non-league football a little while ago, and now he won the Premier League. He obviously worked his way up the league system. Wow, what a career, man. Man U Forever says Van Nistelrooy. Now that's a legend. You're spot on, man. Look at Van Nistelrooy's goals. I bet he's got more than Vardy, and he was only here for not even that many seasons. So, yeah, you're talking about Premier League goal-scoring legends. I don't know if Jamie Vardy's up there on the list for me. I really don't think so. Yeah, really don't think so. But Ruud van Nistelrooy, though, in terms of goals, he's got actually 95 goals in 150 appearances. That is an incredible strike rate, though. He never got to 100 goals because he was only here. He only played 150 appearances. He was here from 2001-2 season to the 2005-6 season. Look at this. First season in England, 23 goals in 32 Premier League games. Second season, 25 goals in 34 Premier League games. Third season, 20 goals in 32. Next season, 6 in 17. Obviously had some injury issues that year. 21 in 35 the next season, and 21 in 35 the next season. Unbelievable, man. Ruud van Nistelrooy, what a strike rate. That guy was something else. That guy was absolutely something else. Mr. Justice comments, Vardy would probably be at the same level as an Andy Cole or Ian Wright if he played for a top team. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because he hasn't always played for a top team. That's a very fair point, yeah. I mean, Ian Wright's obviously got way more goals. Let's have a look at Ian Wright's goal statistics as a player. I'm sure he's got closer to 180 or something like that, I would imagine, having played for Palace and also Arsenal for all those years in the Premier League. So I'd imagine he would have more goals. Ian Wright's probably got like 180 goals, I reckon. Let's have a look. Ian Wright statistics in the Premier League. Ian Wright, 113 goals. So actually a lot less than I thought. But 213 appearances, 113 goals. Still more than Jamie Vardy. I think that's a good comparison. They've got similar stats in terms of appearances and goals as well. He's played 213 appearances, 113 goals. So yeah, nice little debate topic there. But I think Andy Cole's better than Vardy, though, isn't he? Andy Cole, statistically, isn't he better than Vardy? I don't know. Andy Cole, I remember scoring like 34 goals one season for Newcastle. Andy Cole, that is his name. Andy Cole, Premier League goals. So I like looking at this type of stuff, guys. Just forgive me. I know some of you are getting pissed off and this is boring you. Andy Cole's better. 187 goals. But to be fair to him, though, he did play 414 Premier League appearances, which is way more. It's way more. In fact, his strike rate's actually worse than Jamie Vardy's considerably there because he's got 187 goals in 414 appearances. Look at that win record, though. 206 wins, only 106 losses. That is sick. Andy Cole, what a bloody player for United. Fantastic. Over 350 of you legends tuning in tonight, by the way, for this show. Please do us a massive favour if you're just getting in here and give that like button a little smash. Leave a thumbs up on it. That will help this stream and this channel grow tremendously. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you do smash that subscribe button. Click the sub, click the bell icon to be notified when we post live. Great topic of discussion there. Great topic of discussion. Stefan says Leicester's win will always be a fairy tale, and Vardy made himself a legend because it will always be referred to, like Ipswich winning in 1962 or Forest winning in 1978. You're so right. I mean, it's very unlikely that will be done again, really. A team that's 5,000 to 1. Some bookmakers, I think, even had 10,000 to 1, didn't they? But certainly most had them at 5,000 to 1 to win the league. I mean, and to go and actually do it, you're right, it probably never happened again. It's mental. Batman Night Fan says Andy Cole is a legend. You're absolutely spot on there. Outstanding. Andy Cole, he gets the ball and he scores a goal. Andy Cole. Wakas Akram says Shearer, you can't really argue with Shearer's record. He's still to this day the most goals scored. I think he got 260 goals or somewhere in that region of in the Premier League. So yeah, you can't really argue with Shearer's goal scoring record. Yakub Youssef says MUFC fan, LOL. And plus, if you actually grew up and watched Shearer play in the league, like he was something else. You know, he was unbelievable. He could head. He could score free kicks. He did have the power shot. He had the placement. He had the intelligence. He's actually underrated. I know he's the player that has scored the most goals in the league. So how could you say he's underrated? But when people talk about the best Premier League strikers, you hear a lot of, Thierry Henry, and, but for some reason people sleep on Shearer a little bit, I think, anyway. Fahid Ahmed says Martial or Rashford. I personally think Rashford out the two. I think Rashford's more developed at his age than Martial was. Martial's a good few years older, remember, or at least 2 years older. That's a lot in terms of football and development. So the fact that Rashford scored as many goals as Martial did in the league last year from a wide position, I'd choose Rashford out the two of them. Mad Animal says, unbiased take, could Everton pull a Leicester this season, or is it simply early season honeymoon period for them? It's very unlikely. It's very unlikely they could do that. And it wouldn't actually be put in a Leicester, would it? That's what's so remarkable about the Leicester situation is if Everton won the league, that would be way more likely than Leicester doing it. So I know what you're saying. Everton, could they cause the upset? I mean, they could, but it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to keep the consistency up. If they get a key injury here or there as well, they might not have the depth to be able to deal with it. But what you have to say about Ancelotti is he's a winning manager. He's somebody that's really seasoned in terms of getting the best out of teams. He's seasoned in terms of success. And if you get a successful manager, maybe you will have a little bit of success. Maybe this could be the year that Everton win a trophy or something, or, get into a Champions League spot. I personally don't think they're going to win the league, but you never know. Stranger things have happened, like Leicester doing it. Paul Vanderbeek, thank you. He says, smash that like button, lads and lasses, and subscribe to Flying Pig United. Thank you, Paul Vanderbeek, man. Top lad. Man U Forever says George Best legend. Oh, absolutely. Georgie Best, the Belfast boy, one of the greatest players to ever grace the game. Such a shame with Geordie Best, man. Imagine what he could have done if he had the professional attitude of somebody like a Beckham or something. I think George Best may have been the greatest player ever in terms of, what he could have gone on to do if he'd ever been as committed and professional as some of the other players, I think that's true. Jonathan Gallagher says the biggest upset will be to Fulham winning the Premier League. Imagine that. Misty Miyagi, okay then, calm down lads and lasses, be nice to each other, be kind in the live chat here folks. Desmond Abuka says, good evening everyone. Good evening Desmond, thank you for stopping by. Mr. Abuka, great to see you. Disco Dave says, Everton taking the title off Liverpool, can you imagine? It's a good shout actually, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it compared to Liverpool winning it anyway. JP, good to hear, my friend. Stephen T.Y. says Schmeichel or De Gea. Have a little vote in the live chat, guys. 1 for Schmeichel, 2 for De Gea. There's no even point voting, folks. And if you do vote for De Gea, then you obviously were born in 2001 or something and never seen Peter Schmeichel play. Because I can tell you now, Peter Schmeichel's probably the greatest goalkeeper I've ever seen in my life. I would say that right now. I used to be a goalkeeper. I used to idolise Peter Schmeichel. And he, in my opinion, is leagues ahead of anything we've had since. Even Edwin van der Sar. Now, Edwin van der Sar's an incredible keeper. But I still would take Peter Schmeichel over him every single day of the week. Peter Schmeichel was probably, if I had to choose a world 11 of all time, I'd stick him in there. Now, you can say that's stupid, but there's other great goalkeepers that have been Gordon Banks, Lev Yashin, your Oliver Kahns, your Jose Chilavers, your George Campos's, whoever, loads of great keepers around the world over the years and years and years. Buffon, he's right up there too. But to me, Schmeichel's just as good, or if not better than all of them. I think he was pretty unbelievable. I mean, winning the European Championships with 1992 with Denmark. He had a big hand in that as well, folks. Don't forget. Yeah, they had the Laudrup brothers, and yeah, they had an incredible team, Denmark, at that time. But even so, they didn't have the teams to match some of the best teams in the continent that year. But because of Schmeichel, because of the Laudrup brothers, and because they obviously had a good team as well, they were able to do that. And that's pretty much unheard of, isn't it, for Denmark to win the Euros? And I think Schmeichel was a big part of it, folks. Wakas Akram says ravielli. Are you spelling that right? Ravielli, is that? I don't know. I'm not so sure if I'm familiar with him. Is he a goalkeeper? Is he? Anyway, yeah, Peter was an amazing keeper, says Stefan Harringtonio. Welsh Red says Schmeichel, best ever. I agree. Fahid Hamid says LeBron or Ronaldo. It's got to be Ronaldo, hasn't it? LeBron. Pff. Domestic Game Show. Thank you, Domestic Game Show. Comments. Found your channel today. Nice thing you're going on here. Keep up the good work. Dude, thank you so much, Domestic Game Show. Really means a lot. Thank you for subscribing and getting involved. Get involved in the live chat with the community, folks. Asal Akhtar says Pete the GOAT. End of discussion. Gaz G says Big Pete, his only fault was singing for Shitty. Took the sign off him. Yeah, signing for Shitty. What was he thinking? To be fair, City were at a different time then. They were just coming up into the league, weren't they? I loved Gary Neville that time when they're standing in the tunnel where he just completely blanked Schmeichel. Schmeichel is like, oh, Gary, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, you play for City now, do one. You know? I love that about Gary Neville. Kerwin Nixon says, how many goals for Dwight York? Very good shout. Dwight York obviously had a good career before he came to United as well, banging in the goals for Aston Villa, wasn't it? So let's just wait and see. Dwight York Premier League goals, just seeing as we were talking about that earlier, comparing some stats. I'm sure he's got over 100. He's got 123 goals and 375 appearances. Great stats there from Dwight York. Yeah, good shout. Yeah, Lev Yashin says Primo. That's a great shout as well, but you're going a bit way back here. Gordon Banks was always a player that I grew up sort of idolising as well. Obviously, England's old goalkeeper during the 66 World Cup. And for many years as well, he was a great keeper too. The Cat. Actually, that was Peter Bonetti, sorry. Peter Bonetti was the Cat. What am I on about? Anyway, Jarvis Cocker comments, Thomas Ravelli, Swedish goalkeeper in the 90s. Took Sweden to a World Cup third place in 1994. Oh, fair play to you, mate. Yeah, Ravelli. Oh, okay. I think you spelled it a bit wrong. I think you spelled it like ravioli or something. I was like, who's that? Some Italian left back or something. Mark Voot says Peter the Great Dane, Red Ledge. He was an absolute hero. What we wouldn't do for another Schmeichel, to be honest. Wasn't just about his goalkeeping ability. It was just about his presence. His presence was mad. He filled that goal. Plus, like just the way he marshalled and barked at his players, man, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Also, he was not to be trifled with. Like fair play to Roy Keane for picking a fight with Peter Schmeichel. I wouldn't want to pick a fight with Peter Schmeichel. He might be a proper nice guy, but he looks like somebody who could definitely pull your arm off or something like that. He's a big unit, is the Great Dane. So, yeah, fair play to Roy Keane for having a pop at Peter. But I think Peter probably came out on top on that one. I have no idea, but Peter probably came out on top on that one. That's what I'm thinking. I know Roy Keane's a bit of an animal, but I reckon Peter probably came out on top. What do you guys think? Have a little vote. Who do you think came out on top? Peter Schmeichel or Roy Keane? If they had a street fight to the death. Daniel Rowley, thank you, Daniel, or Rowley. He says, what does everyone think about getting someone like Tyrone Mings at the back? Yeah, it's just not inspirational for me enough, Daniel. I'm going to be honest with you. That's my opinion. Clam J comments, Massimo Taibbi deserves another shot. Batman Night fan says, Van der Sar. He was great. Yeah, he was great. Don't get me wrong. He was fantastic. But I would still choose Peter every day of the week. Tom Zadok says, yo, Pig, come on, sir. Having a good night. I am, mate. How are you doing, Tom Zadok? Thank you very much. Asan Akhtar says Pete versus Ian Wright. Yeah, they used to hate each other, didn't they? I remember Ian Wright stomping on Peter once and me getting absolutely pissed off. And they used to, like, shout abuse at each other all the time as well. They hated each other as players. It was mental. But that's what the passion was back then. It was so much, there was so much hatred between Arsenal and United all that time. It was brilliant. Dualk comments, hey, Pig, do you think Ollie will still be the manager if United doesn't make top four? Or is it going to be over for Ollie? I think he maybe has to get top four or very close. He does. I mean, we've got to get top four. You can't go backwards, you know. But at the same time, he has to be backed. You have to wait and see what United do in this window. Because if we finish this window now with Jadon Sancho and with Tellez and even maybe with Donny van de Beek and maybe somebody else, he's got to perform and he's got to get us top four then. But if they actually dwindle in this window and do not get any more players in or only get Tellez in, if we only get Tellez and Donny, then there's nothing we can really expect him to do to try and keep up with the teams that are going for those top 4 places and who've improved. Look at how Leicester has started the season. Look at how Everton has started the season. Never mind your Chelsea's and Man City's who are in mid-table at the moment, who will be up there. Think about the other teams that are doing the business right now. Arsenal look better this year. I know they lost tonight, but they do look better this year. Liverpool are still going to be up there. City, you know. So United have to really do some work in this window to close that gap in terms of quality on the pitch. And then once we can do that, once Solskjaer's got the tools to actually say, yes, we do have a top 3 squad, then you should maybe say, yeah, he's got to get top 3. But at this moment in time, he doesn't have a top 3 or top 4 squad. Yo, what's up, Takudzwa Mandondo? How you doing, man? The main man. What's going on? John A says nope too. Daz Reynolds says, Pig, do you think we will be in black on Wednesday? I have no idea, mate. What's that all in regards to, you mean? The away third kit, you mean? Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Amici Kevin says, Woodward, please do the needful 2 days to go. We definitely need these players in 100%. Management Rebel 2 says, yo, Pig, shout out Simone. Shout out to Simone. Nice one. Shout out to Management Rebel 2 and your girl, Simone. I'm guessing it's a girl. Anyway, hi Simone. Chic Canto comments, I think Sancho is too expensive. I mean, with that 100 million, we can buy a centre-back, a left-back, a loan for Ivan Perisic, and a centre-forward. Chic Canto, you're so right, my friend. With that money, you could sign 3 or 4 different players. You could get Upamecano, like you say. You could get Tellez, you could get, let's say, David Neres at right wing or Ismaila Sarr at right wing, and then you could even maybe get a Kante or maybe get a Thomas Partey or someone as well. Like, you could save so much money by not getting Sancho, it's true, but then you are missing out on a world-class player in that one position, and if you add the quality in the right positions over the years, in the next couple of windows, then you should actually piece together a world-class team. That's the idea anyway. That's the idea. Laurent Frangi says, I'm Dutch and it's not pronounced Van der Beek, not Beek. Sorry, it's pronounced Van der Beek, not Beek. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Donny Van der Beek. You're right about that one. This is not the first time somebody has corrected me who's from the Netherlands, my friend. They come in here all the time. They talk about the stroopwafels, and they talk about Louis van Gaal, and they talk about the need to be horny. They like the need to be horny out there in Holland. And you see, the thing is, in Holland is we like our players to be horny. But yes, it's Donny Van der Beek, not Donny Van der Beek. You guys out there's the same guys that call me Louis van Gaal. It's not Louis van Gaal, it's Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal. The G stands for gangster. I'll wreck you and smile. Anyway, Climb J says, get your beak out. Laurent Frangi, thank you, Laurent, for your comment. And thank you for finding this channel and subscribing, dude. Gaz G, nice one. Wacka Sacram, Danny's loving it. Disco Dave's loving it. This is my Dutch accent, folks. It's not the best Dutch accent. It's the best I'm working with, though. It's more like Martin Jol, actually. It's less like Louis van Gaal. It's more like Martin Jol. Sounds a lot like the manager Martin Jol, actually. In my head, this could actually be Martin Jol, you know. Oh, Polar Bear says, will there be a longer live stream on Transfer Deadline Day? Hell to the yes, my friend. There definitely will be. We'll be covering Transfer Deadline Day majestically. That's right. We'll be doing the business on it. We'll be doing the number on it. Don't you worry. Maybe even a 12-hour bad boy stream or something like that. That's right. Disco Dave says, a schmuck and a pancake, a cigar and a waffle, a bong and a crepe. As an actor says, wake and bake. That's that's my fantasy football team name, by the way. On my fantasy Premier League team, my team is called Wake and Bake, but spelled B-E-E-K, like Donny Van der Beek. It's called Wake and Bake. That's freaking genius, isn't it, guys? Come on. Yakub Youssef, hopefully Smalling, Pereira, Mata, Dallo will be sold. Certainly looks like Smalling, Pereira and Dallo are going out in this window, yes. Mr. Miyagi says, we need Sancho 100 million over 7 to 10 years as a bargain, to be honest. Yeah, that's a very good point. If you get a good enough player for a long enough time, it pays for itself. That would do the same if he did have a great 10 years at United, definitely. Thank you, Takudzwa. Appreciate it. Primot says, you doing a Champions League draw on, Pig? I don't know, actually, Primot. It's a good shout. When's the draw? Dude, I'm so out of the loop with that. When is the draw? Stephen T.Y. says, how's Mourinho? I haven't seen that little Portuguese melt for a while. Manu Forever says, Pig, you sound like the Godfather. Well, you come to me on the eve of my daughter's wedding and you ask me for some more shit transfer news, and I tell you, For money, I want to buy Victor Lindelof. Anyway, never mind. Daniel Rowley says, I can't see how United have conned Lazio into agreeing 27 million for Andreas buyout clause. To be fair, they probably haven't. That's probably Lazio mugging them off. They say, look, we'll give you 27 million for him next summer if you let him have us. We'll pay 50% of his wages now, give you a tiny little fee, but we'll buy him for 27 million next year. And United go, yeah, okay then. They're not going to buy him for 27 million. No way. KP says, we signed Sarr on the 15th. What do you mean, KP? How can we sign him on the 15th? That's after the window closes. Mark Vu says, JP, no, mate, not to the end. Just saying bye to Gazki. Nice one, Mr. Voot. Great to have you in here. Stevie Mack says, signings or no signings, we can't let the Portuguese Mr. Bean win on Sunday. Spot on. I do like the fact Son's injured. There was some rumours that Harry Kane had been sent off at the end of the game afterwards or something like that, but that turned out to be a coach. So that was annoying because it would have been great if there was no Son and no Kane. Ashley Jenkins says, Sancho or Upamecano. Look, it's not really Sancho or Upamecano. In my opinion, it's Sancho or Upamecano, Telles, Sarr, and a central defensive midfielder as well. So it's kind of like Sancho or 3 or 4 other players. It's not really Sancho or Upamecano. Upamecano is only 50 million or something. So we should be able to get him, definitely. Bromdahl says, Wednesday. Thank you, Bromdahl. Appreciate it. Disco Dave says, is Dom Piglioni still arriving October 1st? Absolutely. We'll be doing a bunch of FIFA videos October 1st when it's released and you can get early access to it. I will be playing it, folks. So definitely keep a lookout for that. I'll be playing it a whole bunch. Matt Rush, thank you, Mr. Matt Rushmeister. What a legend. Everybody stick a beer emoji in the live chat for Matt Rush because he's a top lad. He really helps me out with these streams and gives me great information. He's a fantastic source of information as well at United. So Matt Rush, just you're a top lad. Really appreciate all the help. Mad Animal says, I'm old enough to remember Paul Gascoigne at Lazio. Now they resort to Pereira. Bless him. Mate, I remember that as well. Of course, Gaza, I can't... When was it? But either way, Gaza did play for Lazio. I remember that epic free kick he scored. Unfortunately, he didn't really have a good time over there because he got injured a lot. And he just didn't play that many games. But he still played, did very well when he played. But it probably wasn't the climax that he was hoping for over there. But like I was saying earlier in a previous video, Serie A is night and day different to what it was now. Back then, that was the best league in the world, Serie A. In the 90s, when I was growing up, when we used to watch Go Lazio and all that, and we used to watch teams like Roma and Fiorentina with Batistuta and what was his name in midfield? The Portuguese lad. Rui Costa, Manuel Rui Costa, and people like... of course, Zidane at Juventus and Ronaldo in the league and people like Roberto Baggio and Maldini, of course, and bloody, the list goes on. That was the days. AC Milan were a world-class team. Obviously, they dominated the early 90s, really. Inter Milan were a top team. Juventus were a top team. Lazio were a top team. Parma were a top team. Roma were a top team. Sampdoria were a top team. Napoli were a top team. They had so many good teams back in the 90s, but the depth is just not there now. The depth is nowhere near there now. It's nowhere near the same league that it was. Inzaghi, Del Piero, these folks. I mean, these legendary growing up in the 90s watching the Italian league. There were some unbelievable talents. Yeah, Waka Sakram says Del Piero, yeah. Stevie Max says shite league now. It's such a shame. Yeah, Oliver Bierhoff says Batman Knight fan. German striker, absolute machine. Spot on, Batman Knight fan. Yeah, Giuseppe Signori says Jarvis Cocker. Old school. G-Will says Roberto Brazil free kick was special. Oh, Roberto Carlos when he did that outside of the boot bending round the wall in off the post free kick. That was mental. Smash on one in the live chat if you remember that free kick that Roberto Carlos scored. That was mad. Waka Sakram says Pavel Nedved. Yes. Misty Miyagi says, only thing I can say is bacon in Jamaican by saying beer can. Great to see you, Football Brandy. Thanks for getting back, matey. Peter G says, why are you talking about Italy? We were talking about Lazio. Somebody mentioned Andreas Pereira signing for Lazio and how shite the Serie A is now, basically, when you look at when Paul Gascoigne was signing for Lazio back in the day, or Maradona signing for Napoli. Or Ronaldo. To be fair, they've got Cristiano Ronaldo now, the best player in the world. So it's still got its draw. Juventus is still obviously one of the best teams in the world, but the overall depth of the team of the teams in the league is just not there. There used to be so many good teams in Serie A in the 90s, and they're just nowhere near as good now. G Wolf United says, who was better, Fat Ronaldo or Man United Ronaldo? Dude, I mean, you know, you have to look at Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo's strike rate and say that he is better. But Ronaldo, Fat Ronaldo, in terms of a number 9, in terms of just being an absolute goal machine, he was something extraordinary. The only problem with Fat Ronaldo is, like, that's the reason we call him Fat Ronaldo. He had up and down spells of fitness. He was always injured. You know, there's a period of years where he had really bad injury problems. If he could stay physically fit, like Cristiano Ronaldo has been able to do over his career, then Fat Ronaldo would have probably put up the same sort of statistics as Cristiano Ronaldo. But the stats don't lie. You can't really say that Fat Ronaldo's as good as Cristiano Ronaldo when Cristiano Ronaldo's stats are so much more impressive. But then, you know, Ronaldo's won the World Cup, you know, with Brazil. So there's a bunch of different accolades and things that Brazilian Ronaldo did that Ronaldo didn't do, which is a big factor as well. FC United Forever, what's going on? He says, now you're pronouncing Lazio wrong. It's a Z, not a T. So I've been saying, did I say Lazio? Yeah, okay, well, Lazio. I know, I said Lazio. I said Lazio originally, and then I changed it to Lazio. I don't know why. It's a common thing people do, though, isn't it? Football with Bradley says, went to watch Italy v Wales when I was banned as I went on a false passport, but it was fucking crazy. You nutter! Went on a false passport, you lunatic. That's passion for you. Had to go and watch the Dragons. Fair play to you, matey. Daniel Rowley says, where do you see Dan James if we do sign Sancho in future plans? Maybe on the top of the scrap heap at Inter Milan or something? No, I'm only kidding. He's actually going to have a decent future. He's still only 22, whatever he is. He's young. Batman Night Fan says, Gattuso was a great. Asan Actor says, Adriano was good at one point, but didn't he just shit the bed eventually, if I remember correctly? I can't remember. I think he's one of those players that was great and just turned out to be a bit shit in the end. Am I thinking about the right Adriano? Shout out to Paul Wood, who's just subscribed. Nice one, Paul, for subscribing, mate. Welsh Red says, Franco Baresi, yeah, one of the greatest defenders to ever grace the game as well. Stefan comments, both Ronaldos were amazing. Very true. Cristiano Ronaldo's more your all-encompassing, free-roaming, marauding, mercurial, all-over the gaff type player. Ronaldo's more your out-and-out number 9. That's what I'd say. Lynette Giggs says Baresi as well. Yeah, unbelievable. Wakas Akron says Seedorf, only player to win Champions League 5 times with 5 different clubs. That is unbelievable, isn't it? Clarence Seedorf, he was some player as well. He's another one that some people don't seem to remember in the same light as some of the other players. Clarence Seedorf was unbelievable. He was. Stevie Mack says, United old boys playing in the Serie A 2 now. Inter is basically United B team. Very true. It's the wasteland, the graveyard for United's players. Rex de Boss says, Ferguson wanted Gattuso for years. Not surprised. He's like somewhere similar to that of the Roy Keane type player, isn't he? A little bulldog in the central midfield. A little bulldog. Really tough player. JP says Robinho's still in prison. I don't know, actually. Is Ronaldinho still in prison as well? Because I know he was in prison for a bit. What's Robinho in prison for? Or is that who you mean? I don't know. Primot says Mark Viduka, 240 Premier League appearances, 92 goals, 28 assists. Not too shabby, to be fair. Why are we talking about some Leeds scum, Primot? What the fuck's that all about? Mark Viduka, do one. Okay, his stats are actually pretty good there, but we're not comparing him to the greats of the Premier League. Luke Nutley. How you doing, Luke Nutley, mate? He comments, he was an incredible young talent, but flopped after his dad died, if I'm correct. Oh, I didn't know that. That's sad then. Nathan Phelps says David Trezeguet. Absolutely. Lynette Giggs says Vialli. Gianluca Vialli. Now you're talking. Asan Akhtar says Edgar Davids. Football with Brownie says John Charles was until recently Juventus' highest goal scorer in a single season, and I know his nephew over here in Marbella. Well, very interesting, Football with Brownie. Good stuff. How's things going over there in Spain at the moment? Is things getting any better? Obviously, they've got to be getting better than they were a couple of months ago, but we're on the verge of a bloody second lockdown here. Don't know what's going on there. Brom Dahl says we don't have bulldogs anymore. Very true, we don't. We've got little chihuahuas out there. We've got little bloody lapdogs out there. We've got Yorkshire Terriers or some shit in the midfield. What we need is a bloody bulldog, you're right. Waka Sakram Ronaldinho is out now. Thank you very much for that update. Stevie Max says, no, I think Ronaldinho is out now. Got done for a fake passport, didn't he? Just like Football with Brownie. Nicholas Clark says, Eusebio. What a Portuguese player he was. Yeah, unbelievable. World Cup Golden Boot in 1966. Even though England won the thing, he got the Golden Boot, I'm pretty sure. Right then, folks. Nice one, Football with Brownie. No worries. One of those special knocks or something like that. Mikhail Doom, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Stefan Antonio, Jim Joe Bobley, Mark Voot, Ryan Burbsman, Daniel Rowe. I guess I'm going to wrap this video up now, folks, but, please do us a favour if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button. Let's see if we can smash 250 likes or whatnot on the stream. Massive love to all you legends who have got in here tonight. Thank you for all the banter. Thank you for all the great chat. Thank you, Vincent Bullock. Says sister has a French pug and she paid $2,000 for it. Bloody hell. $2,000 for a French pug. Bloody hell, mate. I'd expect, if I was spending $2,000, I'd expect to get a French human for that. Just kidding. Liam Hardy says, hi, Pig. I've been drawing a pic of a really hot girl I met on Twitter, trying to woo her. It's going really well. Good luck with that. Not too creepy at all, Liam. No, I'm joking, mate. She'll love it. That's quality, mate. Good stuff. Manu Forever. Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Football with Brownie. Thank you, Rex the Boss. Zek. Zek, you want a quick summary? Okay, let me give you a quick summary then, Zek. Sorry, let me just do this summary quick. But please do us a favour, everybody. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Leave a cheeky little like on it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And get involved with this fantastic community. Right then, folks, let me just have a look at all the stories again quick. Give you a quick roundup. If you're just getting in here, smash the like and let's do this. So, Manchester United. These are the main stories right now this evening. Look at this. More information. Thank you. It looks like Leicester are edging closer to a 37 million capture of Burnley defender James Tarkowski. Quite interesting. Man United were sort of interested in him, it seemed at one point, but not very likely. Pogba. Paul Pogba. Man United are preparing to activate a 1-year contract extension. We have the option to extend his contract for Paul Pogba, and we're going to do that for another year, more than likely. We're looking at the option of it. His contract runs out in a year, so we're going to have to extend it, which we have the option to do. We can trigger that at any time. So there's a bit of news about Paul Pogba. Also, Diego Dallo, an update on Diego Dallo. FC Porto are supposed to be interested in Dallo. We've been talking to them about Telles, obviously. So you might see Dallo going in the opposite direction. Also, AC Milan, Fabrizio Romano reported an hour ago that AC Milan have asked for Diego Dallo on loan with a buy option. Manchester United want to sell him on a permanent deal. There's no agreement reached at the moment. So there's no agreement reached with AC Milan on loan, on a loan deal for Dallo, but he's also got interest from Porto. Lille had an offer refused a little while ago for Dallo. So I think there will be a few clubs lining up for Dallo this window, and he's likely to leave. He's likely to leave. Also, Andreas Pereira is leaving. He's going to Lazio. He's joining the Serie A side on a season-long loan with a future €27 million option to buy. Fabrizio and every single outlet confirming it earlier that it's a done deal, basically just pending a medical. Here we go. Andreas Pereira to Lazio. That is the story tonight. That's the main story. Also, Manchester United have made an inquiry for Ismaila Sarr, who's among options considered maybe as an option, different alternative for Jadon Sancho, but it's not really an alternative for Jadon Sancho. It's a shit alternative compared really to getting a proper Rolls Royce of a player like Sancho, who could be one of the best right wings in the world for the next decade, whereas Ismaila Sarr, it's just a backup short-term fix. It's not really going to inspire anyone. So that's also a link. €40 million for Ismaila Sarr. That's looking quite likely, though. Like, we have contacted Watford, supposedly, as these reports are suggesting. Also, Manchester United have officially made a bid for Alex Telles. It's believed around €15 million. We're waiting to get this done. We understand all the deals with the agents and the player are all done and sorted, really. And it's just a case of agreeing the terms with the two football clubs. Hopefully that happens soon. So next few days, I think that one should be looking to get done. You can never say 100%, but I don't see anybody else coming in and taking him. I don't see him wanting to stay at Porto and running his contract out until the end of the season. I think he'll be happy with the big contract improvement from United, and he will come in this window. And they're probably not going to be able to squeeze much more than £12 million out of us, especially if they want to do a little deal with Diego Dallo. So that should be coming soon, anytime soon. Alex Telles. That's basically all the news, I think, everyone. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the main news. Telles, Sancho, there's no Sancho news, really same old with that shite. Sarr, and of course Dallo, Smalling, and Andreas Pereira. So Dallo, Andreas Pereira, and Smalling, those three players looking quite likely that they will be leaving in this transfer window. Okay then, folks. Robert Zerzies, what's going on? He says, still live. Oh my God, eating Duracells, not bacon. Yeah, I'm still live, dude. Gone just over an hour and a half, actually. We should probably wrap it up. But I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. Thank you so much to everyone that's got in here. Everybody, thank you to all the mods. Stick a love heart emoji in the live chat for the mods. Aaron Homeyard, Ryan Burspin 9, Ellie, Matt Rush, Gungshi, anybody else in here? Any mods in here? But either way, all the guys who are keeping this live chat popping and safe and everything, thank you so much. KP, you have a great evening. Liam Hardy, appreciate it. Yes, I will be doing something like that. Transfer window deadline day. Steve Buckley says, Pig, what would you think if United did not sign anyone now? I think we'd shit the bed all over the place, mate. How could we even show our faces in public if we don't sign anyone now? How could Ed Woodward ever leave his house if we don't sign anyone right now? Tom Zadok, Zek, have a great one. Amici Kelvin, Paul Vanderbeek, A. Ahmed, Primot, Mark Voot, Batman Night Fan, Luke Knowles, Disco Dave, Aaron Homeyard, Jim Joe Bobley, Brom Dahl, Ryan Burberspin 9, JP, Young Wizard, Dylan Salmon, Waka Sakram, Paul Vanderbeek again, Amici Kelvin, and everybody else. Thank you so much for tuning into this video tonight. Kerwan Nixon, Batman Night Fan, Stephen Ty, Luke Knowles, Liam Hardy, Jarvis Cocker, Lynette Giggs. Have a great evening, Lynette. Thank you for getting in here so regularly. Paul Vanderbeek, Pascalius Namak. Sorry, I'm going to have to read that one again. Pascalius Namakwata. Nice one, Pascalius Namakwata. Thank you very much for stopping by and getting in here. GTL Red, Daniel Rowley, Manu Forever, IOI Fixity, Rex the Boss Gaming, JP, you have a cracking evening, mate. See you at the crossroads, crossroads, crossroads. What a shit song. Mark Voot, G-Wolf United, see you soon. Thank you, G-Wolf, for moderating as well. Disco Dave, The United Way, John in the Gaff, shout out to you. Luca Dalton, Yusuf Raji, AK, thank you very much, I'll take that. I love you too, man. Ryan Burspin 9 and Stephen TY. That's going to be it from the Pig. Thank you for watching. Please do us a massive favour. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, please come back in a few minutes' time when this video is finished and get any thoughts and opinions you would like to in the comments section afterwards, in the not live comments. Have your thoughts in there. I'll respond to a bunch of them there. I'll try and respond to all of them, in fact. So come back and comment if you want to speak to me about anything or have a debate with any of this great community. Thank you, Mark Voot, Dylan Salmon as well. Get Beamed 141. Have a have a great evening. He says, I'm really nervous. Great show. Thank you, mate. Yeah, well hopefully it's going to be good news. Good few days for us, peeps. We've got a few players going out, getting rid of some of the deadwood, and hopefully bringing a few players in. So hopefully it will be a good few days for us. All the other teams have had most of their action done earlier on. But now we're getting to the point where it's going to be a bit of fun for us, hopefully. Zachary Shah says, Zachary Shah from Malaysia. Good morning to you, Zachary Shah. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, everyone, if you're new to the channel. Brummy Red says, great show. First time watching, and I will subscribe. You legend, Brummy Red. Thank you very much for getting in here. We've got another Brummy, like, absolutely Boston. We've got a Brummy watching, like, you know, probably from, like, I don't know, Wolverhampton or something like that. Or probably Birmingham, actually, like, you know. If we're being honest, probably from Birmingham, if he's called Brummy Reds, like. Boston, absolutely Boston to have you on the show, mate. Nikolozka, Luke Knowles, G-Wolf, Batman Nightfan, Pascalius, Mark Voot, JP, G-Wolf. That's it. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Smash a like on it. Check out the links in the description as well to follow the social media accounts. Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. Big couple of days coming for Manchester United, guys. We're hoping for Tellez soon, and we're hoping for a bit of this deadwood to float out the door. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Have a bloody good one. Ricky Swift, take it easy. I know, I just said Wolverhampton and Birmingham are two different places, mate. Guess what? They're next to each other. Crikey, you don't need to give me a geography lesson, pal. Anyway, take it easy. Appreciate it, folks. Stay classy. Coventry as well, you know. We might as well do the same fucking accent for them too. Anyway, stay classy. Have a good one. This is the Pig. I'll see you soon. Welsh Red, take it easy. And come on, United. Funny show there, guys. Lots of fun. Appreciate you all tuning in and stopping by and getting in here. Oh my days, man. What an evening. We obviously did the watch along and then we just done this. Great day on YouTube, folks. I freaking love it. I love this stuff. Anyway, thank you to you all for watching this stream and doing this tonight and getting involved and leaving your likes and all that stuff. It's absolutely sensational. All of you, the Pig loves each and every one of you. Thank you, guys. This is just the Patreon credits to say thank you to all the all the patrons that support this channel on Patreon, link in the description for that also, and all the channel members as well. We've got to add Kelly Clough. I see you there, Kelly. You're going to get added to this list, Kelly. I apologise, I didn't have time to do it, but tomorrow this will be on there. I think I said it would be sorted out today, definitely. That's the kind of guy I am. But I will get it sorted out, Kelly. Also, Johnny Maux needs to be added to this on Patreon, and a bunch of people like Michael Fletcher, Ollie In, and a bunch of others as well. Ricky Swift, have a good one, mate. Kelly Clough, Vincent Bullock, JP, Paul Van Der Beek, Ramtier, John Tay, Kelly Clough, JP, Nicol Oscar. You stay classy, everyone. This is The Pig. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully with a bit of tasty news. See ya.